Trying to get the people. Hello, Backgammon fans. Bill Riles, Tara Mendocino, Ace Point Backgammon, broadcasting from Dubai. The 2023 Oasis Tournament Cup here in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. This kind of hectic getting started here. First round, getting the players in position. We'll have 2 live streams throughout the week. Stream 1 I'll be doing the commentary on stream 1. We have a live transcription by Justin Knoll. We appreciate his contributions. And that match, as you see here, and they're getting ready to play, will be the defending champion of the Dubai tournament, Aykut Özel from Ankara, Turkey, playing Arif Alipur, Iranian living in London. Superb player. I'm not that familiar with Aykut's game, but again, he is the defending champion, and we're providing him the honor of playing in the first match.
Before we start.
Now, on stream 2, which is on the Ace Point Backgammon channel, will be a match between Myco Vardanyan from Russia and George Rabahi from Lebanon. Now, since everyone else is playing, this is a Swiss format, no one's been eliminated yet, we won't have a live commentary on stream 2. But it is a very good match, a couple of good players. Vardanyan's a superb player from Russia. Rabahi recently finished in the semifinals of the High Roller Jackpot in Monte Carlo. And here, Arif Alipur from UK/Iran and Aykut Özel from Ankara. So we are off and running. This is a Swiss format, 9-point rounds. There'll be 2 rounds played tonight, this one at 8 p.m. local time and a second one at 10 p.m. local time. And then we'll begin again the 3rd round tomorrow morning. Okay, so these guys, some nice early structural development on both sides of the board. 6-3. Now, Arif has a couple of options here. He does have the opportunity to run from the rear, but he's going to play 2 down, trying to build a bit of a prime to contain that one back checker. Okay. Now again, this is they've had this tournament once before, 2 years ago, but Patrick Gibelli is the director, organizer, impetus behind it, and this is going to be, it's a great tournament this year, and it's going to really, I think, grow tremendously in the future, as he's got a great vision and energy toward this tournament. And trying to follow this and talk at the same time here. 6-4 by Arif, but it's a beautiful venue, and it was announced a couple of days ago, and now every player, as if they didn't have the typical incentive to win the tournament, now they're all even more excited to perhaps win the tournament, because the two finalists, the finalist of the Dubai Oasis International Backgammon Cup, will be played at the top of the Burj Khalifa here in Dubai. So the tallest building in the world. We're going to be on the 123rd floor. We will be there with the live stream. Now here's an interesting kind of a pressure cube from my perspective. It's a double and a take according to XG, but doubles from the bar. But he does have a broken 6' in front of RS2 trailing checkers. So, that was the type of cube, I think. Oftentimes, I don't know that these gentlemen have played or really are familiar with each other's game, but that's a bit of perhaps a test cube too early in a match. And again, these are only 9-point matches, and sometimes those that's a much shorter match than perhaps we see in some other tournaments. But again, this is a Swiss format, which lends itself to the shorter matches. But again, kind of an early cube from Aykut and Aykut. Get that right. We get in not as familiar with some of the names in other cultures sometimes, and I have to kind of struggle to get used to saying them. But anyway, the normal incentives are there, but now this year playing atop the Burj Khalifa, and wow, that's going to be exciting. Now, any number of sponsors of this tournament, of course, you can see some of them on the board there, and in addition, Daman Markets is a investment in firm here in the UAE, and a primary sponsor. And of course, we're using the Backgammon Galaxy YouTube channel for Stream 1, and we certainly appreciate their contribution in that regard. Stream 2 is on the Ace Point YouTube channel. There's Ian saying he saw Aykut in Skopje at the recent WBGF tournament, and again, he's the defending champion in this tournament. So, and Ian follows the backgammon world quite closely and is really familiar with a lot of the skills of the better players. And if he says Aykut is a great player, then I'll take that to the bank. And of course, I am personally familiar with Arif Alipur, and he is a superb player. So this should be an interesting and entertaining match. Again, as I said, we appreciate Justin Knoll will be providing transcription services on Stream 1 throughout the week, so you'll have the live XG feed. Now, as many of you perhaps know, I like to do the commentary in a bit of an interactive fashion. So if you have questions, comments, suggestions, critiques, whatever, I'm following the chat line, and we'll try to respond as I can and as appropriate. So be sure and comment anything you'd like. Jonathan Hardegree, Gary Olson, Bernhard, Mayor, thank you for viewing. Again, it was kind of interesting because, again, we were affording IQ Uzel the honor of playing on stream 1 in the initial round. So who knows who he draws, right? And perhaps to his dismay in certain regards, but to our benefit as viewers, he draws our Falapur. So what a match. Okay, so kind of a standoff game here. Both are looking for the opportunity to pass beyond their opponent's outfield anchor. Okay, so again, both players have the superb home board, so you don't want to, offer up the shot voluntarily. And if you get forced to do it, then so be it. So here, Alarf, again, he's just going to clear this, I guess, and he'll save a 5 by not moving off the 6. So that perhaps buys him yet another roll in not leaving a blot. Now, Uzel has the same requirement of rolling a 2 numbers above 3, and likewise, he doesn't accomplish that either. So again, he could play probably 2 checkers to the ace. He's going to clear the 6, though, which is reasonable enough if he does end up leaving a shot. Okay, so any ace, he's slightly behind in the race here. It's a direct miss. Arpur with a 2-pip lead. Now 11. And I didn't pay attention to it at the time, but that's somewhat, from my perspective, seemingly an early cube from Uzel from the bar was correct, and of course it was a relatively easy take by Arif, and beyond withstanding some great rolling by it's almost even here. It's a little deceptive to look at, but both will have ideally 10 checkers after this roll. So if Arf stays holding serve, as it were, by both of them not rolling doublets, then Arf should close out this game. One of our favorite viewers is always following us, Mrs. Bubbles from Switzerland, I believe. Okay, so Arif obviously contemplating, does he have a recube here? And again, it's 10 checkers apiece. Probably no misses in his future, but that's a 5-roll position with no misses in either side. It's probably I think it's a no redouble and obviously a take, but and what is it? Redouble pass according to XG. Bill would have been wrong here. Now, players this caliber obviously will take the time necessary to run through their calculations and reference positions and so forth before before acting, particularly in cube play, and oh, is that nice? Takes I think it's a deceptive one go, and then he gets someone says, Ian says, mega punished, and that's right. He got slapped seriously, and such are the vagaries and fortunes of backgammon. 6-5, so that's what we call 2 points or 4 points, I'm sorry, for RF. Now again, in this Swiss format, we comparatively short matches, 9-pointers, and this is a 3-life Swiss format. You're not you can win the tournament with 2 losses, so the last person standing with less than 3 losses is the champion. For those that fall out along the way, there is a last chance flight on Sunday. Okay, set of nice 6s. And said, it's interesting. One thing that separates perhaps this experienced players, the very accomplished players, is they take the necessary risk where those are required, and there initially, and I thought he was going to stay with that play. I could seriously consider stepping up into that quasi blitz type situation that RF had beginning, but it with the structure as it were, staying back against that developing advance by RF is difficult to win from. I'm gonna have to pick that up. So now he's got 4 builders working on the 5 point, so that's the Tara just stepped out here, and obviously in this Swiss format, getting matches kicked off, and with this FTBG system, we don't have access to the pairings until the pairings are posted in effect. So, we like to have a bit of time on occasion to choose our matches, review the pairings and select our pairings. And now here's another interesting cube. I like the timing. Ikud has 3 back behind, a seriously broken prime, but he also has 2 checkers behind, or Arf has 2 checkers behind Ikud's 5 prime. Arf takes it. So this is going to be interesting. Now, what does Arf roll, or Ikud roll? That's a tough roll, but he's going to play the probably 6 in and 5 to the, or 6 to the 1 and the 5 and hits 2. But now, even if I don't know that I'd hit 2, I don't like that. I'd keep the 5 prime and bank on let him come in with you might hit 1, but let him come in with the 1 checker, and anything other than perhaps a 1-6, he's going to have to crunch somewhat on the other side. I don't like this play myself. What does XG say to that? I think it wanted 10-4-8-3, which is what I would have played, I think. So again, that was I didn't look at the XG feed, but judging on the PR change there, that was fairly significant error by RF, or I'm getting them mixed up again. Ikud. You haven't commentated anything since Monte Carlo, so it takes a little bit of time to get back in the flow here. Now, I did tell him Justin's doing transcription. This is going to be going to be an interesting game. Okay, he's got one now. I could just need to get one of those checkers out. Gets 1 out. But he could put. He can This is probably a good play. He still has the opportunity to get those checkers moving. He can move the ones in the back with what 4, 5, 6, 1, 3s and 4s to come from the.
Because 10 o'clock you have round 2.
Set of 3s, which is really kind of interesting because that, again, he's got the 2 checkers trapped behind the 5 prime, so he's in, in jeopardy of, he doesn't roll a 6, he's in jeopardy of crunching here. 5-1, he can step up onto that, so he has an anchor and he has them both positioned to be able to escape with a 6. Hyatt needs a 4 or a 6 to get one of those rear checkers out. Okay, there's the beginning of the crunch. Now, again, this next roll is just incredibly crucial to this game. Mr. Finneran is in the house. Say, Bill. Because we can see what happens if on Hyatt's roll here, if he doesn't roll a 4 or a 6, then he's going to have to break that 5 prime. Okay, a 4-5, so that gets him to go. And now he's got kind of inadvertently in sorts a bit of a trap play established here. He can survive one more roll before he rolls a 6, perhaps. But when he does roll a 6, barring it not being a double 6, then then he's going to be attacked. Okay, so he's probably just going to move them both off the 6. You don't want to leave 2 blots over there by hitting on the ace. Okay, I'm bringing. I don't know. I might have stayed back and fished for that 3rd checker. Okay. Well, you're right, Ian, and of course, RF did roll the 3-2, or the 2-1 to point. Now he rolls the 3-2. 5-3. I think what did I do? I played to the 4 and the 12. He's going to play it all the way to the deuce. XG wanted him to play the trap even more seriously from that point. 3-1. Yeah, keep the 6-6. That's the minimized shots. A 6-2 and a 6-6. Had you moved the back one, you'd have 4 shots rather than 3. Okay, with that relatively advanced anchor, well, I'm going to say Hyatt is in a relatively decent position to perhaps win too, but he is 21 pips down before that roll, so he's going to have a 10-pip lead. So it's kind of tricky sometimes exactly how to proceed. Now, if RF rolls a 6, then Hyatt can attack. Doesn't roll the 6. Okay, there's the pointing number. Oh, we went running in there? The door's closed. Okay, so looking to close it out there. There it is. Not a lot of gammons in the cup, with only one back and one in the outfield. So, probably should coast home, perhaps with a 2-point win here. So again, that was kind of an interesting game, in my opinion. Interesting cube. And it's, again, first round in a Swiss format, two very good players. And we're 7.77 and 6.89. So neither are playing to their norm. But, PR doesn't count. It's Swiss formats, just wins. Okay. Farf rolled a couple of big numbers here. He could have gotten back into it, but there's still some potential misses for Hyatt. There's one, play to the ace. Five, 4. So most improbable that Hyatt would lose this. So here's the probably the closeout roll. There it is. Well, he could. There's 2 1s, 3 1s, double ones. So Arif may have 2 rolls, but needed sets on both of them. So 4-2, Arif. Now this is, and it's kind of interesting, talking to Patrick Jabelli somewhat, the director organizer. Okay, this is at a Hyatt Regency in Dubai. A large, beautiful playing room venue. And Patrick says, that's for whatever reason, and we didn't get into that, but very few of the hotels in Dubai have large ballrooms suitable for a large tournament. So that kind of dictated his selection of this hotel. He said it's kind of interesting, and apparently, and this has been renovated, I think, and expanded. It's really quite a nice facility. But apparently it was one of the early large Western hotels in Dubai. And, it's kind of away from it's out closer to the international airport, and probably 8 to 10 miles from the city center of Dubai as we know it and see it nowadays, with all the high-rise buildings and so forth. But very nice facility, and again, it was built early on, and I say early on, we can laugh about that. I think it was in the mid to late 80s, some fashion, but apparently a number of elite class of sorts, or both based on lineage or wealth or what have you, used to have a lot of weddings here, and that was why this one hotel had this one big, huge, incredible ballroom, was for weddings, and apparently it has maintained that tradition of sorts, and there are a lot of weddings here. But it's a beautiful facility, and there's two towers, more or less. There's a hotel, and there's a condo residence tower, and a shopping mall with an ice rink and all that kind of stuff between and beneath them. So enjoyable. You can see the participating players, and I meant to mention this earlier, so I'm glad you prompted me. You go to ftbgsystem.com. ftbgsystem.com. And you go to that, and actually you'll see a recent Cyprus tournament initially, but scroll on down and you'll find the this tournament, both the advanced division and the, what in the States we would call the championship division. In Europe and here in Dubai they call it the Masters division. But you go to that, and at first you'll see a name list, but you scroll on down past the name list, and you'll see the pairings, the first round pairings here. Okay, so again, Myco's built a nice structure, but he doesn't have anything to contain, as Arf has managed to escape both of those. So Myco's going to have to depend on that 18 point to some degree to try to pick up a checker.
Very strict conditions.
4-3. So, I mean, what are his options? He could play them both inside, but that leaves two blots. What's the count? He's up by 4, so that's not particularly significant to the considerations. Okay, he's going to play it like that, but that leaves all 3 outfield points stripped. So he's subject to an unattractive forced move with a bad roll. 4-2. He's just got to, or what was that? 4-1, I guess. I'm sorry. So he just plays that off the 6 point. So he's still kind of treading water a bit with those 3 stripped outfield points and not much flexibility otherwise. 5-4. Again, he can go to the ace point. He can clear the 8 point, but then that's just to some degree worsening his continuing problem. 3-1. So the hotel is ready for visitors over here on Myco's side. 6s. That moves a lot of freight and has some certain attractiveness, but he's got these 2 lonesome guys out here on the midpoint, but Myco, I was going to say, is probably going to be forced to give up one of those. He can't, because it included an ace, and RF has a 5-point board. 4-1. Again, he doesn't have to crunch. He doesn't have to leave a shot. So anything without an ace, and Myco can clear that midpoint. Okay, so he can't come down. Had he rolled a number which would have allowed him to safety one of them, he may have had some minor temptation to leave a shot, but he couldn't leave 2. Yeah, Greg, thank you. ftbgsystem.com. Now, I think reasonable numbers here. I think Patrick had hoped to have a few more players than he did, and I actually anticipated, based on some of the, I don't know, talk, if you will, in the backgammon community. But I think we ended up with 169 in the Masters/Championship division, and I didn't look recently at the intermediate division, but it was in the 50 to 60 range. So well over 200 players combined, which is double perhaps what it was. And there again, score dictated somewhat, but okay, he's going to pay now. Well, he has to pay now. It is 11 shots versus 17. He misses. So now he's just got to hope he can outroll RF here. Again, it's rather interesting, even with that. There's those big numbers he needed right there. So it's he's right back in the game, very close. In fact, he's got a 9-pip lead, but he's down a checker. There's now he's down 5 checkers. But, you know, he has a gap there, which may cost him a bit. But, you know, that's how backgammon is. Backgammon giveth and backgammon taketh away. Sometimes Myco got back in the game with the set of sixes, but then, you know, what oftentimes might be a rather innocuous set of twos gave him a pretty substantial advantage immediately thereafter. Again, we hasn't froze here, Shay. Perhaps you we've got like 80 megabyte upload here, so we've got tremendous bandwidth. So perhaps you can refresh your browser or something and correct any problem you might be having. Eddie Towell, New York City. Hey Eddie, how's it going? Okay, a set would help. Not the end of the world if he doesn't get it, but it's close to the end of the world if he does get it. Now RF needs threes, doesn't get it. 4-4, 5-point match. Most interesting. Most interesting. Yeah, it's a nice board, Eddie, and those are all. And I'm not sure the manufacturer's name. I should know that. I'll have to get that from Patrick. But they maybe FM Gammon makes it. I know in certain respects, some of the components of it. These I know the new inlays that include the what's the name of that bunch? Daman Markets logo on it. Those were manufactured, printed here in Dubai, but I'm not sure if the board frame and structure itself, and it's obviously table boards, if that was, I know they have a relationship with FM Gammon, but I'm not sure if that was where those were originally constructed or not. Julie Tabot, what's up? Now, as we're watching it, and it's kind of interesting because, you know, and again, it's difficult to stereotype in any way, but you know, Aykut being Turkish from Ankara, and Arif being, although living in the UK now and a Londoner, is originally from Iran. They both play with pace, and you know, I've seen on occasion. I mean, neither seems to be. Maybe Justin asked them to pause for a second with a transcription error or something, but that's probably what this delay is. He's sitting right there next to them. But they both seem to play with pace. Certainly, I noted a time or two where Arif had perhaps a bit of a you know, tough cube decision, maybe a tough checker player too, and you know, and he's willing to use the time necessary judiciously, but they're both neither of them are particularly, you know, slow players in any regard. And again, I think that's perhaps they probably grew up playing oddly, if you will, or a variation such as that, and it's a very rapid paced game, so there's probably some vestiges of that in their play. Okay. And this is a bit of an awkward roll. I like that. Arf has only a 2-point board. So, you know, if he hits, he can't do too much immediate damage, and Myco has every potential of making an anchor relatively quickly, and he does. Okay. We look at XG there, no double take. Yes, Julie, I miss Olivier. That was a lot of fun, and I think Julie refers to Olivier de Coteau commentating with me on a doubles match in Monte Carlo, which involved a French team, and that was a blast. I had a good time. Olivier and I are good friends. He speaks passable English, but he used a lot of French in that, and I think that was great. Yeah, Victor did cancel, Ian. Said it's too hot. They're at their home in Paros. It's an island in the Greek Isles. It's interesting, and George Kyriakos was commenting on the checkers, and, we all have different color perceptions and this, that, and the other. These are, and I have no problem with them at all, and I think the logos help that somewhat. But, there was another, and I don't even know, a recent tournament that had red and black pips and red and black checkers, and it was really difficult. But those were, I think, the reds were much more similar in color, and here, and again, the logos have something to do with it, but I'm not having any problem with losing any checkers on pips and viewing the board. Okay, so now this is going to be a difficult one to survive here. Ours probably got plenty of timing. Alex Shagan from LA. Hello, sir. Good to see you. As we can see there, and again, perhaps not surprisingly, I know through the first game they were both playing 7+. And Aykut has not been able to chisel into that PR much, but RF is down in the, I don't recall, there it is, 411 range. So that's probably much nearer his norm, maybe a little high for him, actually. But, Aykut is, not having the good fortune to play anywhere close to what his average PR probably is. Okay, now this is good because, 11's a fairly good roll, fairly sizable roll. Aykut would just like to burn some time, and he did with the 6-1, obviously. It's at a 5-4, so he's going to bring that around. I'm with you, Ian. I was probably blabbering too much about something else and didn't pay that close of attention to the cube. Okay, so Arf's going to try to be careful bringing these in. I could, he'd like to roll big to maintain a bit of much of a board as he could, and of course was fortunate in doing so. But RF gets to sustain the 6 prime here. Okay, so Myco is holding on as well as one might can in this position. Now he needs a 5 to maintain some home board integrity, and he loses that, and it's going to be very, very difficult to win this, although the best number from his perspective for RF. And so he escapes the RF escapes the one blot. There's okay, so he's torn as to actually how to play this. He aren't too many options. He'd like to have played perhaps a little bit differently and save some potential for to perhaps achieve a gammon, but I don't think, there aren't many gammons in the cup, and just needs to play safely. Always like to recognize people in the community contributing to the community, and Alex Shagan is watching us tonight, participating in the commentary, or not in the commentary, in the chat line, and certainly, and I'll forgive or apologize to Alex for not remembering the exact name of his new book on backgames, but that just came out, and I know he spent a serious amount of time in writing and refining and now publishing that book. So thank you for the community, Alex, for what you do in that regard. Backgammon, Backgame Strategy. There you go. And that's, I know, available on Amazon. So, okay, so now Myco just, he's just going to save the gammon, and has every likelihood of doing so. Yeah, that's what I would think. Dimitri Zarf's in 3x range, and he's playing. He's worked it down quite a bit, so he's approaching his norm, I guess. Myco, I think, is probably playing a bit high for himself, but it's been a fun and interesting match. Now, as y'all can see, and I should have mentioned this earlier, of course. R's playing the black checkers at the top of the board, and he's on the right side of your player cam there in the white shirt. Myco's playing red at the bottom of the board, and he's on the left in the black shirt. So both relatively young, very personable, nice guys. Okay, so this is foregone conclusion now. This game's going to end, so it's going to be 6-4 RF, 3 away, 5 away for those who take that perspective in games. It's kind of interesting. They had some side events and warm-up events and so forth starting today. his clock is running, but fortunately there he stopped it. So he lost very little time, and they both have a lot of time. They're going to take a bit of a break. Now, perhaps Tara can switch us over to, while they're taking a break, and we can see what's happening on stream 2. Again, over there, who did we have? Myco Vardanyan from Russia. Very good player and super nice guy. I've known for a number of years. Oh, there she is, the double screen, 2-up, she calls it. So there we have Vardanyan with a 5-4 lead, and judging on the position of the cups, they decided to take a break at the same time. But we can see that Vardanyan is leading 5-4 over George Rabahi from Lebanon. They didn't change the score. Apparently, Tara's going to correct it for us. Turning. Okay, 9-4 Vardanyan. So much for a break. They took the permanent break. Hasn't that title been claimed any number of times? I don't know, Tim, if that is a real book from you or not, and if so, I apologize. I'm not familiar with it, but I can imagine that any number of us might have been able to author it. Congratulations, Michael, or Mikhail, I guess is appropriate.
Congratulate me too.
Hey, did you win? Look here, Phil.
I won. I usually come when I'm losing, but this
Phil,
time I won.
yeah, that's one of the things about some of these quick matches. You got, and there's fixed start times on each round.
I love this FTG system is incredible.
Yeah, so
Everybody should do it.
Phil Simborg joining us here.
Hello, everybody.
Another one of the Americans here in Dubai. So it's going to be an interesting tournament, I think. This is a tournament of the growth for the future, I think. And it's in a new area. And Patrick certainly has the energy and the vision to make it successul.
I came because I thought it would be a real easy draw. But then I looked at the list, and it's just filled with giants. I had a very tough first match too. Jan Djokovic from Germany.
I recall that you had drawn in. Djokovic is a very good player.
Yeah.
How did you win?
I won with an 8 cube. I'm serious. It was not a coup classique, but I hit his. He had 2 checkers left, and I hit, and I kept recirculating until I hit the second checker. Then I closed it out, and I took 3 off. And I was winning 5-4, holding a 2 cube with 3 checkers off, and I recubed him to 4. And he took, and I really got to put that in because I think that was a pass. And then he recubed me immediately to 8, and I got lucky.
Arif.
What are you talking about?
Oh, we're off chatting on other things now while y'all are taking a break. But a good match.
So who's playing?
Arif and Aykut Uzil.
Oh, sure.
From Ankara, Turkey. He won this event. He's the defending champion.
Aykut's very good. They're both very good.
And it was kind of funny because we were going to stream Aykut as an honor for being the defending champion, regardless of who he drew. And so, who knows, right? It could have been.
Well, we made that same mistake in Monte Carlo, if you'll recall.
Yeah, well, I do recall.
Yeah, we streamed Sander, and he's playing this beginner, and it would have been a horrible match, except the beginner won.
Well, here we fortunately we get a great match with Arif being paired against Aykut, and wow.
I'll stick around until my next match because this to me is more relaxing than playing.
What time is it anyway? I don't even see.
Now it's 5 to 8.
Yeah, so we got an hour and 5 minutes. The next round is 10 local time.
That's great.
And so it'll be fun.
I was very impressed with the opening ceremony. It was very classy and well done. They have great sponsors here. And then he pulled out those cakes. He had a whole bunch of these cakes. He's had every single player's name on each cake.
Yeah, there were 10 cakes.
10 cakes to get all the players'
And
names on it.
all the players' names were. Now, did
Wow. I had a piece of cake for
you
sure.
have a piece of your own
Oh
cake?
yeah, no, not
your
my
name on
own.
it?
No, no. I wouldn't have done. I would rather eat mochi or it's my favorite ice
Hey,
cream.
remember where we are now, Phil.
Well, I wasn't talking about anything off color. I like mochi ice cream. It's my
We need
favorite.
to exercise some discretion, and innuendo, but nonetheless, it was a nice opening. Patrick's put a tremendous amount of time, energy, money, and work, I guess, into this tournament.
Hey, look,
And,
anybody who cares enough to do it right and have you and Tara here, that proves that he cares about the tournament and cares about the viewers and the growth of the game.
well, we certainly appreciate that. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I mean this is the classiest streaming in the history of backgammon. It's great, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it with you guys.
Well, we
Whenever I can.
enjoy it. I know, we had the opportunity to work together considerably in Monte Carlo, and I think that was a huge success for everyone.
I think
And,
we're up to over 50,000 views of the final match.
Yeah, we're up close to 60,000
Close to
now.
60,000, yeah.
In 5 or 6 weeks, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Which is essentially the same number as have viewed in 13 months or something, the Sander Zdenek
Yeah, I
final from last year.
can't believe that many people watch it. I mean, I had Mark Olson and Wilcox Snelling doing the commentary with me, and I thought that would take away from it some because I wouldn't get to talk as much, but people went to watch it anyway. I can't understand that. I've only got to do a third of the talking.
Yeah. So most again, that was great, and we ended up, and it's kind of funny because as many big names were there, and this is not to reflect in any way. Frigo was a defending champion, or not a defending champion, a former champion.
Former champion, yeah.
And Mario Cool is perhaps not as well known as a lot of players, but boy, did he put on a performance all week in the super
Yeah.
high roller in the main.
I can't remember anybody playing that well and losing in the finals since Bob Wachtel. I think Wachtel played under 3 and lost in the finals. And Joe Russell in his second match played very, very well, but I think he played around 3.
With Jorgen.
Yeah, with Jorgen Granstad when Jorgen won it the third time. To play that well and lose is almost a sad, and it's a testament to how tough he is. When you're losing, it's hard to keep playing and keep your concentration that well.
But it's interesting, and again, I love Frank Frigo and Mario Cool, and they put on a tremendous performance. It was a great match, but you would expect the kind of numbers we got if Mochi or Kiko or Victor or whomever, maybe bigger names in certain regards, were in that. But
Yeah. Let me tell you,
we got a great performance, and
I didn't know much about Mario Cool before that tournament, and now he's going to be high on my Giants list in the future.
well, the only thing
showed me
that
something.
I knew about him in advance of that was that in the New York Metro this year, he defeated Victor in the final, in the high roller,
In the high
or whatever
roller.
she calls it.
Well, I had heard he was a great money player, but I know people who play money games and don't play too many tournaments. They don't usually play under 3 PR like he did.
Yeah, and I didn't. I've heard this. I don't know for sure that this is the case, but I understand he was, way back, and I say way back, 15, 20 years, he was, I don't know, owner, investor, CEO, something of that, Play 65 Backgammon, which was
Right.
fairly substantial. I guess
yeah.
one of the things that really hurt it was when the U.S. cut back on
On the gambling.
the gambling.
I represented Play 65 in the United States. I thought it was great. It was a great platform at the time.
Okay, so here we go, Phil. We're back on board.
So Arif is winning
6-4.
3 away, 5 away is the way I think of it. Which is a little bit strange that this took me a while to understand why the leader has a lower take point than the trailer. The trailer actually has to drop a little bit faster if there's no gammons, which is really surprising at these scores, but it's because of Crawford and what 1 or 2 points does for you. So that makes it's another illustration of why match play is so complicated compared to money play.
Yeah, to catch up to Jurgen Kunkel's question, you can go to FTBG's system, ftbgsystem.com, and see all the brackets, the player lists, and what have you.
Yeah, when you win or lose, they scan your lanyard,
code,
yeah, your QR code, and they immediately put it in, and it goes on the website too. It's just an incredible. And then they tell you what table you go to at next time, and who
And you
you're
get
playing.
an automatic text when they do the drawing.
I haven't been getting the text. That's not working, but maybe it will work for others.
Did you download the app?
Oh yeah, I've had the app from before.
Ah, at they stopped there. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Classic, what I call the midpoint standoff game. And although with the holding the 5.2, this is a pretty complicated game, but it just got uncomplicated or less complicated.
less complicated. Yeah.
What do you do here, Bill? I come down from the mid. I don't need the midpoint so much anymore. I don't want to bury the checkers. I don't like this play at all.
I
must be
tend to
wrong.
be with you, Phil, and
Yeah.
I mean he's got to play over the next roll or two. I
Yeah.
mean he can probably sustain one roll such as that to
You
clear
got the
mid.
XG feed. It said it was
XG
right by a lot.
feed, yeah.
I didn't notice that. It was right by a lot to bring them all down. Okay. I'd like to cover up the XG feed. I can make more of a fool of myself that way, which is not a hard thing to do anyway.
Well, it's great with you winning your first match. I was telling the viewers earlier. I mean, as if winning a tournament isn't always incentive enough for these players. Everybody wants to go to the Burj Khalifa. So, the final will be played on top of the world, as it were.
Oh my God!
And
How are we going to do the commentary from there? That's going to be tricky, isn't it?
we're taking it all down there.
Oh my God!
We're going to be doing
Oh my God!
the streaming and commentary remote
Oh my God!
at the Burj Khalifa. Tara and I were down there Friday with Patrick Gibelli, and we had a meeting at the location.
Did you drive a truck from Texas to here with all your equipment? It's amazing how much stuff you have to bring to get all these different camera views and everything. It's just terrific. Here's a blunder if he makes this play. Oh no, he made the right play. Okay. Yeah, you just got to kill checkers here. It's not fun.
The winner is for round one.
That's not too bad a play, breaking
Not
the 8
too
point.
bad,
Not
but-
too bad. I'm impressed with Akat. I've watched him before. He's a very good player.
The first game or so, they both were up in the mid sevens, and Aikut worked it down somewhat. Arf has worked it down significantly from there.
This roll is a nightmare, but you got to play it, and that's the right play. Even the fewest shots, and
Okay.
he's very brittle too, so you don't want to break the back point. Not a double, but by a little bit. Huh.
Yeah, it's pretty thin.
Well, if the score was reversed, I'd double.
Absolutely, and you would probably be right in doing so.
For money, I would double too.
Oh, that's interesting. Ian Terry was just telling us that, David Klasa won the Skopje tournament here a few weeks ago, and he said Aikut was the person that sent Klasa to the second chance, and then Klasa come back and won the tournament.
That's great. David's a nice guy. I was happy to see him win. He was on my team in Trier for representing the U.S. He's a good player and a nice guy.
Okay, so he's going to,
8s and 9s.
rather than crunch in any fashion,
8s and 9, there's the 8.
Or split the mid.
Yeah. Notice how I said 8 and 9 before the roll. That's a very good thing for all intermediates to learn. You don't miss shots that way. Call them out.
And you can
Now.
crow a bit if you were right, and if you were wrong.
Yeah.
Who expected you to be right?
No, if you're wrong, you hit anyway. I think this has got to be a pass.
Big pass.
Yeah, got to be a pass. There's even some gammons involved with those 3 checkers on the outside. Oh yeah, there it is, 22% gammons. Huge pass. And he doubled very quickly. I would double very slowly.
It's interesting. Dimitri's giving you a little flack, you know.
Dimitri loves to do that. And there's only one reason he does it. He knows he's smarter than I am.
Okay, so
I would not
This-
waste my clock on this one.
now, not with the lead. We're even or something. I might think about it a bit more, but it's too easy to dance a roll or
Yeah.
two, and
Well, it doesn't cost too much to think. That's a good lesson. But this doesn't seem to be close.
can see here. I'm gonna play with some of my new toys and see how this works. With those. Well,
right,
now
he
we missed
passed.
it, but he had those 2 voids there, so it was.
What we
It
call a
was
spaghetti board.
55% to enter, but it's
Gonna get hit
you
again.
also dance 45% of the time, and he's bringing 4 checkers around against you. You had a lead.
Okay, it's 3 away, 4 away. There's one really, really interesting thing about this score that I always keep in mind. If the leader doubles, his recube take point is 40%. So the leader really has to be a lot more careful doubling if there's much game to go. Because it's very hard to take the recube.
Oh, I purposely was just making a point that rather than dragging. I got you. Yeah.
You getting in trouble with the wife again?
Well, he tries to.
We all know who the
Keep
boss
us in
is here.
line.
We know who the
Well,
boss
and
is.
you've worked with us enough. She runs a tight production.
She does a great job too. But how does it feel to live with somebody who's always right? What's
Well,
he
you
doing?
can- you can ask that-
Wait a minute. Oh, double twos. Okay.
You can ask that of any man.
He better say yes.
All players who lost in round 1, 10 p.m. round 2. This is the Swiss format. The player has 3, and today we will play 4 rounds for everybody.
So this is another tournament where you can lose and still win the tournament? You can lose once and still win?
Huh?
The tournament's a double elimination?
It's actually triple.
Triple, okay.
3 lives.
You can lose twice and still win the tournament.
Correct.
Oh, good. Much more hope for me.
It's going to be interesting, and I'm not sure yet if we're streaming it or not, but y'all might check in with us in the morning. Mochi's giving a lecture at 10 a.m. local, which is, for you people in the States, 1, 2, 3 a.m., it's no big deal. But
Will it be streamed and recorded?
it will definitely be recorded. Where
Good.
it's streamed, it'll
Good.
probably be recorded even if it's not streamed, but
And
we're
I
still trying to work out the details of that.
And I see on Sunday, Zedek's going to give a lecture on the cube. What's
is.
Mochi's lecture about?
Nah, I'm not sure. And Michi's giving one Saturday.
Wow. Mochi, Michi, and Zedek giving lectures? I would come just for that.
Worth the price of admission. huh?
No question about it. I would come just to hear those 3 lectures. 3 of the best in the world. And 3 authors, too. Three very good authors. I just love Mochi's
so what do we got
last
here?
book.
So we got a 6-1 to play for Arif. He's
Well, XG says
mean,
you just stack the 5 point, and that seems like a natural play.
okay.
Is he thinking about hitting 2? Hitting 2's not terrible, but it's certainly not right. Yeah, that's the thought I would have also when I'm losing, and I don't blame him for making that mistake. Because that looks sexy.
Yeah, you might ask him.
Once you slot that ace point, you're supposed to make it nowadays. My girl would laugh at you in the old days, but now that you do it,
Okay, and there's that now.
I don't think this is a take even at the score. I'm
Well, we
That's the
know
first-
the game plan
Oh.
from here if he
there. It is.
sends it,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's going to be full speed ahead,
Yeah,
blitz mode.
It's blitz, and it's too many gammons to take. There's enough wins here, but there's just too many gammons.
Now, with this score and this kind of play, I mean, someone like Arif's probably got this in his reference position repertoire.
I don't know. This doesn't look like a reference position to me with those two checkers back on the 3. I would have a little trouble with it myself. But he certainly did the right thing. It was an easy pass. Okay, 3 away, 3 away.
Three-way.
Take points are 25% on the initial cube and 25% on the recube. I always think about those things at the beginning of every game. And the gammon value with the cube turned is 0.5. It's just important to get your mind set on these things so you don't miss a cube.
I don't have those times in front of me, Tim. I'll get them for later. Mochi's definitely 10 a.m. tomorrow. I think Michi's maybe 11 a.m. Zdenyek's 10 a.m. on Sunday.
Yeah.
We're trying to work it out. Tara and I were trying to work it out where we could stream Zdenyek before we break down and head to Burj Khalifa. And okay, so now again, both of them are really just kind of looking for any opportunity
This is
here.
interesting. Do you hit or to make the
five,
point?
Or do you?
Wow.
I'm making the 5. I think.
Usually it's right to make the 5 in here, but I would have some problem with this play.
Justin's a good transcriber too. He's running at higher.
Oh, Justin Knowles doing it?
Justin
Yeah,
Knowles
he's great.
doing the transcription.
He's great. I mean, Patrick has not spared any expense to get the best people here. He's got Mate here helping. He's got you and Tara and me.
He
And
got
Justin.
Justin.
A lot of people here on staff, and plus the whole team of Fuat's team.
Well, he played in
Monte Carlo.
he stopped her this year. Jabelli did, and he was so impressed with that FTBG system that he just on the spot more or less bought it for his tournament.
The first time I saw it several years ago in Turkey, I tried to buy the system, or I at least license it for the
Right.
entire world, and it just didn't work out because he wanted money. I mean, how garish can you be to want money for something that you've developed?
Okay, so there's a nice roll. 9. So now it's just a question of where the fourth one is.
Okay, but you got a 2-5 back game, and especially at this score, you almost never double this game. This is always going to be a take. You can't lose your market unless he crashes his board. So this game is going to go without it. Should go without a cube for a long time. I like this play a lot. He's going to time this game.
This is interesting.
Come out. I would have come around. Oh no, he's got 3 checkers on the 5. I
Got
would
3 checkers
If
on
he
the
had
5,
2
he
checkers
doesn't-
on the 5, I would come around.
Exactly, I would too. But
Yeah.
he doesn't have to give up the anchor to hit.
I like teasing my opponent to come off his anchors, but this
Yeah, it's kind
not
of
a tease.
So what's he do here? He's got any 6, right?
Yeah,
So he plays.
it's all reasonable. They're all. It's
Yeah, I doubt. And they weren't hugely
No.
different. 2, 3, so he can hit and point.
yeah. I don't like making the 3-point there. It was right, but I would have been very tempted to just keep it loose. But it was right, so I'm wrong.
Now he hit that one, and now RF doesn't really mind that. He gets to recirculate some
Yeah.
checkers while trying to build a board.
This again, this game is going to go for. There's no market loser here. Why would he? You can't double. There's no market losers. Double 3, even double 3, you still might have a take. Oh no!
Ooh.
Oh no!
No double.
This is a huge
take.
huge mistake.
Pretty big mistake.
I
too.
love holding the cube here with the 2-5 back game. That's reasonably well timed. I can't get that was not good.
Now, as long as RF can,
You know why he did that? Because to make me look bad. I said this game was going to go for a long time without a cube, and he had to contradict me.
RF just needs to be able to escape one or both of those spares on a 5-point,
Yeah.
just to, for timing purposes. And
He's got a massive recube too. Well, 25% is the recube take point, but he can redouble for the match. Pretty exciting. That's why it's so wrong to give him that kind of big. I like this play.
I like this play too. So, and it's the correct play. So,
You want to give your opponent some bad numbers to crack with. No.
and this is
No.
this is pouring fuel on the fire.
Yeah. Are the PRs being shown along the way?
Yeah, there.
Yeah.
3-8-2 and 6-5.
Yeah. From what I've seen so far, Arif is really outplaying him. Oh, make the bar. Make that bar. That's a beautiful roll.
Couldn't
Yes.
ask for anything more.
No, that's gorgeous. What else? The other reason it's right is that nothing else looks good.
Now, to answer one gentleman's question, how can I watch other games? We're streaming 2 matches per round. Stream 1, which this is on the Backgammon Galaxy YouTube channel. Stream 2 is on the Point Backgammon YouTube channel.
Do you have a commentator on stream too?
We don't right now because everyone was playing.
Oh,
Some guy's sitting there watching.
I should have gone over there. Yeah.
Well, that match had finished.
I see.
Vardanyan won
I got you.
quickly.
I got you. Next time I'll know. I'll run over to the other.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, but that match had finished about the same time your match
I'd
finished.
much rather be here contradicting you than anything else.
Okay, now that's gonna help. 1, 2.
And make the bar.
I think that's all he got. Huh?
There's just
Yeah.
no other alternative. That's tautological when I say no other alternative.
Now that's it. He'd have just as soon rolled something else. And he would just as soon that RF had rolled something else. Hit a second one?
I would.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already timed. You got that many checkers back. Just go for it. You could win a gammon for the match, but also hitting 2 gives you more time to remake your points. Hit and make the bar.
Hit and make the bar, I
Yeah.
guess, right? You could make the 5. Might even hit and make the 5, Phil. Now this is probably right. What's it say?
It is right.
Yeah.
Hit and make the bar. Once in a while, your instincts are right. Ooh, this is a fun play. Creative. A little too creative.
Yeah, but he may well want that anchor, though.
I don't think so. I think the anchor.
What's it? 13, 11, 11, 7.
No,
So
I
it's
think-
the
I think-
bar.
yeah, I think-
Whoa.
Yeah.
What is this? 1162. That's a 068 error.
The reason this can't be right is I've never seen that play. Every time I see a play I've never seen before, it's very rarely right. That's the play. Nothing wrong with looking. It's a good roll. Another good roll comes out, and I would come up. Well, he's right. I would have come out coming up as a tie.
Man, another thing, and just as an aside for the viewers, you were talking about all the staff and associates Patrick has brought in here. You probably also noticed, I mean, there's about a film production crew of about 16 people in here taking
amazing.
Pictures, interviewing people.
It's amazing.
Photojournalism of every sort.
And they're doing interviews all over the place, too.
Yeah, so it's
amazing.
They're going to do a documentary on the tournament, and actually, early this afternoon, 5 or 6 o'clock, Dubai TV was here doing some coverage and so forth. So it's getting some great exposure.
I'm telling you, everywhere I look, backgammon is on the up. It's growing. I gave a lecture in New York at a private club 2 nights ago. 64 people with standing room only from just one private club.
Oh, did you stand in for Mochi or something?
They misspelled my name. They spelled it Mochi. That's right. That was good, Bill. Very good. Hey, you got to be able to take it when you dish it out like I do.
There you go, baby.
All right.
And this
Ooh.
is
I make my 5 point. It's wrong. Well, only wrong by a little bit. I would have come in and made my 5 point. It's wrong by 2%.
I mean, these are. There's so many permutations. So these are
millions.
impossible to play well.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I think that now I like this because he's crashable. If you can prime him well enough and untime him, whoops. Never
Hard
mind.
to do against 3 anchors.
Never mind. You do not make the ace point here. That's the last thing you do. That's the kiss of death in these positions, is to make your ace point. You'd rather get hit and recirculated.
6-5. Yeah, I agree. I think I'd go ahead and start that. And
Well, he's only going to hit you with a 3. He's not going to hit you with the other 2 numbers. Hit again. May as well come in and hit. Be consistent. Come in and hit. Go for the crash. Wait for your opponent to roll double 4s or double 5s. But Arif is not cooperating. This is such a fun game. This is close to my Pasco Gammon variation. I just love this.
I
just love this.
This is an interesting one, and it's been a long game, and it's going to be a much
Yeah.
longer game.
I have no clue how you play that. I think he made a good play.
Set of fours. Now that's a nice.
It just doesn't do much of anything. It actually
Doesn't
helps.
do much of anything, but
Actually hurts his timing. He's actually
hurts his timing.
he's
But
actually helped the reef there.
might not help. Now that's a nice roll for
Oh,
Arf. Nice
yeah.
and slow.
And by the way, there's another play that was close. That's amazing. Getting off that ace point so you don't get hit and recirculated there. It was really close. Shocked me. I thought the 5 point was automatic too. So there's no camera on us, huh? We can make faces and anything we
We
want.
can make faces now.
Oh, good.
If they take a break or whatever, Tara might switch over to the
It's different from Monte
commentator
Carlo.
cam. But for now, they're spared looking at us.
That's good. I don't have to comb my hair and shave.
Yeah, they'd much rather look at Arf and Aikut. They're young, nice-looking guys. They're not.
They got Justin Knoll on the wrong side of this. He's the handsome guy, and he's very good at commentary too. But he's so good at transcribing. We need him. That's a hard.
And
job.
one thing that's good about Justin is he's so versatile. One, he's a good player, a good teacher, whatever, but he can transcribe, he can commentate.
Yeah.
He's just a jack of all trades in a
Well,
sense.
you're leaving out the most important thing. He's very funny.
And he's funny. I love his wry sense of humor.
Yeah, he's got a great sense of humor. He's almost got that English sense of humor now that he's moved to London. I like this play. Now is the time to break from the back. And he didn't have to, and I think I like it. So hit. You don't need that point anymore. Oh, it's wrong. You don't hit.
7-4, 6-4.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Wow. You don't hit. I was taught you're always supposed to hit whenever you can.
I would play this, I think.
I would have too, in a second. I would be afraid of crashing with double twos or something if I didn't. I guess you had enough timing. He went to the ace instead of hitting the second checker. He's trying to recirculate. It's a very hard game to play.
It's extremely difficult.
By the way, I'm not even sure Extreme Gammon plays it right without rolling it out.
Right. I mean, that's, and I think they've refined it with time, but it's historically been one of Extreme Gammon's weak points,
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah, I would. There are
big back
several
game like
people
this.
I would bet over Extreme Gammon in this particular game.
And some of them are here.
Oh, yeah, sure. Mochi and Nesvat, who's great at these games. Jim Pasco, if he was here. Svobodny's here. He plays these incredibly well.
I didn't look at the bracket. Did Sabodny enter the main
He
tournament?
never enters the main tournament.
I know he
It's
normally
a waste of his
doesn't.
time. No,
He
he's not
normally
in. He's too busy looking for guys like me to play.
I was surprised to see him show up, but
Me too.
it's relatively close. He lives in Monte Carlo now. So. Now this is it's gonna start taking form now
Yeah.
because Arf's gonna start. If he make a fourth point over there, he'll have a good board, and it's getting tougher and tougher to tiptoe through the tulips
Yeah.
trying to bring this home.
By the way, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but if he had not doubled, it would still be a take now. I mean, so 26 rolls later, it never should have been doubled. And if things got really good, you
the
could have
answer
doubled them
is
out.
Sebastian, I'm not sure how he pronounces his last name, Kush or something of that nature. He says, why do never get it if you trust XG blind with all the moves, why not you trust him in back games? And I think the answer to that is historically, with rollouts and play and experience, people have learned that XG generally extremely good, except in back games. And
Yeah.
snake back games is terrible. But
Well, back games and containment games are two areas that Xavier has recently improved. Okay, is this a recube? Wait, stop. Don't roll too fast.
Two.
Look at this. He doesn't even think about it. It's a redouble. He didn't even think about it. Oh, my goodness. I would have really given that some
It
thought.
was really thin,
It
but
was-
I think you're right.
You got to stop
He,
and think about it.
He had a triple shot, a developing board.
And I don't think his coverage was duplicated either. His four was not duplicated. I
Right.
really would have been okay. He's happy he didn't recube now, but I
just step on out. I mean,
but how do you play that fast in such a critical point of the match?
you know, and I haven't even been paying that much attention, but this has been such a long game, such a complicated game. They're not in time crunch critical territory, but they're both down minute 40 and a minute and 2:52.
Yeah. Look at this, 4 checkers on the bar. Ooh, that's a big, big 3. Huge.
Yeah, but whoa.
Did he not recue because he thought he was too good, maybe? He rolled so fast. Maybe he thought he was too good. That's possible. But it wasn't anywhere near too good. It was just barely a recue. And a big take.
Okay, now he
He needs
He
a
needs
3.
that 3-point.
He needs a 3.
close,
Oh, wrong guy to roll.
close enough.
Okay. Here's where we need the 3. A 2, okay.
Okay, he needs to make that point.
This is no longer a great 2-5 back game, by the way.
Oh, that's not. I might have been tempted to do that. Too,
I
with
love that
2 in the
play.
air.
I
liked
love
it.
that play.
I didn't look. Was it right?
Plus,
But,
you don't. Yeah, it's right. You don't have to worry about clearing it later, too.
right, and
It was very sharp of him to see that.
You had him with 2 in the air.
Yeah.
You had some time to try to get around.
Very, very sharp to see that. Yeah, pick and pass. Even though
Same principle of
Yeah.
just trying to
him
get
home.
around with him riding in the air.
What a great cube I could gave him.
Oh, wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
10 minutes ago, you didn't say that.
No, well, 10 minutes ago we were looking at a gammon.
Oh, this is what's going to be all or nothing.
3.
right?
Play the 3 first. So you want the spare there. That's it. And take the 6 off. Even though it's odd at the top, you want that spare. Otherwise, you got a real problem playing 2s. Good play. He made a very good play. Only high doubles here is what you're afraid of. That's a good roll.
Nice roll.
Take 2 off. Okay,
Keeps-
I like that.
and keeps it even on the back. He couldn't last time. He could this time.
Intermediate or to this proceed check the table.
So backgammons don't matter. He
Backgammons don't matter. He's just got
just wants to win a gammon. He doesn't leave a shot and get hit.
He needs to get. He'd like to get a checker or 2 off of the 2 points so that he might can
Trap.
trap.
Yeah. There's a chance to do it. No.
Okay,
Okay.
you got to take him. Well,
Yeah, here we go. So he should take at least 1 off. Let's see.
one's got to go.
Oh, no.
No.
Why don't you do 1? I guess there's no way you would move the second one anyway. It didn't matter.
There it is. Aces are history. Boom. Aces.
What a fine double I could gave him to win this match.
And
Shows you what I know. That's
there's-
it.
That's it.
It's a ball game.
Rosie O'Donnell is in
Very
the
good.
building.
And by the way, after he gave the cube, I thought he played very well.
Well, and he did carve it on down to
He-
593. But
But he played that game, a very, very hard game, very well. He didn't play it perfectly. Nobody plays the game perfectly. But my hat's off to Icould. He deserved that win.
you know, it's interesting, and I thought it was a great line. I was talking to Icoud before the match, even actually earlier in the day, and I told him we were going to stream him on Stream 1 in honor of his defending champion status.
Uh-huh.
And he says, that's great. He says, I want to be streamed on the first match and the last match.
You get the right attitude.
Well,
Well,
he
Bill,
wanted to be on the Burj Khalifa, right? So he wants to be on
so
the
stay
first match and
tuned.
the last match.
Stay tuned. Another match, and it starts in 25 minutes. And I look forward to doing a lot more commentary with you, and hopefully not too much. I hope to be too busy winning.
Well, you're going to get in at least 4 rounds, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay, so in 30 minutes, we'll have round 2.
Uh-huh.
And then round 3 is actually tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. We have a Mochi lecture at 10 a.m. and those are, what do they call it? Gulf Standard Time, which is 8 hours ahead of USA Eastern.
I'll tell you, if I was running a tournament and I have Mochi to do a lecture, I give him 2 hours, so they have plenty of time to listen to him. And he's one of the best. His mind, he's not just the best player. He's a great teacher. I've learned so much from him, working with him over the past several years. And he's part of our Backgammon Learning Center, and he has written and helped so much of our teaching material. He's just a brilliant. So that's a lecture I'm not going to miss. Bill, I'll see you more.
Okay, man. Good luck in
Goodbye,
the.
everybody. It's a great match to
Good
watch.
luck in the second match. Yeah, thank you for
Thank you.
stepping in.
My pleasure.
Okay, so we are, and I'll note we were up over for a first round match on a, what is this, a Thursday, prime time in Europe, perhaps, but early afternoon in the States. I know we hit like 275 or something at some point there in simultaneous viewers, and that's off the charts. We've fallen off a bit now as this match ended, but we want to, we'll have another match coming soon.
Just got corrected. Mochi's lecture is at 12 and the first match is at 1.
Is that right? Okay, well, my mistake. I guess it's 11 and 10 and 11 the next day.
It's 12 and 1.
12 and 1. I've been corrected, and I appreciate Steve Nelson for pointing that out to us.
Came all the way from Hong Kong.
Came all the way from Hong Kong to straighten us out. Yeah, it's every day the lectures are at different times. So Steve has corrected me. Mochi's at 12.
No, Michi's tomorrow and Mochi's the next day.
That's where I was screwed up.
You know what you do?
I look at the damn thing is what I do,
I
right?
got a copy of it right here.
Your eyes and your nose confused.
Yeah.
I keep a copy of the
Yeah, I should have done that. Let me look at that real quick. Yeah, so the seminar tomorrow is Michi at noon. It's Saturday at 10 for Mochi and Zdenek at 10 on Sunday. So my confusion, I apologize. But Michi tomorrow, Mochi Saturday, Zdenek Sunday. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Phil.
So for those that are interested, Michi's seminar is whether to hit inside or outside again when you're
Against.
Residents.
Okay. Steve says Michi's lecture. They ought to change their damn names. Michi's lecture tomorrow is whether to hit inside or outside on a blitzing game. So both of those guys, all three of those guys that'll be doing the lectures are superb at what they do. And, just such great ambassadors for the game. And we're fortunate to have all of them in the game. So let's see, what else is going on here? It's funny, you can see with the commentator cam here, you can see behind me, the commentary area is actually on the edge of the pre-function area, which you can see a lot of milling around and people moving around behind me. That is Jeff Hall. Alex is shaking. And recognize his shirt as nothing else. Huh? But he's waving at us. Somebody recognized you, Jeff. So, and then there's back to my left, which is otherwise here, is a rather large playing room. I don't have the brackets in front of me. I can pull them up, I guess, to see. So let's see. Do I have those brackets here? I guess if I scroll, well, one, I need to refresh, I guess. Scroll all the way down to get to the first round pairings. There they are. Okay. Nevzat won his match. Alexandra Nupfer lost. It's interesting because both Nupfers are here. Normally, they have a couple of big dogs, and normally one or the other is at any tournament, not both. But here they both made it. Thomas Meer won his match, one of Denmark's strongest players. Let's see, what else do we have here? Ooh, Mochi did lose to someone from Turkey named Ibrahim Karaka. So Mochi, but this is a 3-loss tournament, so you're not dead. Phil beat Jakobowicz. Jakobowicz is a superb German player. Okay, still waiting on the Ray Fogerland match result. What else do we have here? Interesting match. Milese Sergio of Romania beat Bakur Kaplan from, I guess, UK now, but it looks like a Georgian flag. Maybe that's his original country. Avi Cohen from the States won his match. Masood Ahmadpour, an Iranian player who I've met, he's a superbly nice guy. Really enjoy, he won his match, and I've enjoyed spending some time with him. You know, it's interesting, this tournament is bringing together, I think Patrick Gibelli said during the opening ceremonies that there's people from 51 different countries, I believe, or something of that nature. And what's interesting is that, and I don't know how many ultimately showed up, and we'll have geographic national breakdowns a bit later, but originally something like 80 players from Iran had said they were coming, and and those for various reasons, some of them, as far as them being able to get visas and various geopolitical considerations and what have you, they haven't gotten to. They have a number of great players, and I saw BMAB results from a tournament they had over there recently, and the just some great performances, some great players, but they haven't been able to travel that much and be introduced to the backgammon community and world, and we hope to be able to do a bit of that this week here from Dubai with all of the Iranian players here. Now the next match, Amirkhan, I don't know, I apologize if I mispronounce your name. The next match starts at 10 p.m. local, which is 18 minutes from now. So, and of course, in a Swiss format, all of those who won their first round matches will be playing among themselves. They'll play each other. And all of those who lost their first round match will all be playing among themselves. So, and that process continues as we go forward. And well, here's Ray Fogerland. What happened? What happened in your match?
Look at my face.
Oh, you're smiling, and it took a long time. So was it
Oh man,
DMP or something?
took me a long time to bring home 8-2. I coasted to a 9-8 win.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's good. We
I had to. I
and
had
there's
20
Stefan behind me.
He won
Over there.
also.
Bring that over if you want.
I had to leave a direct shot with 20 people watching. I volunteered a direct shot on the last double match.
There's my man, Tariq,
There he is.
TJ.
Hey, I want to get an interview with you one of these days.
He hadn't got his interview yet, Tariq.
5 minutes in.
Okay.
Tariq's with Myco, which is the local, well, it's an affiliated company with some of Patrick Givelli's companies, and they're a local streaming platform. They do a lot of sports, cricket, soccer, international football, what have you. Huge streaming operation. And they're here doing, they're restreaming our streams to the UAE market, I guess you would say. And they're doing a lot of photojournalism. They're doing a lot of interviews of various players. They're, Stubby says the first time I go to Monte Carlo and the real fun turns out to be in Dubai.
Bring one of these.
So, yeah, Tara and I neither had ever been to Dubai, so we wanted to avail ourselves of the opportunity that was presented us. So here we are. Now we also, we'll always stream Rory Pascar's tournaments, and Rory has always been
despite the
a
fact that
promoter of streaming, and has been a big promoter of ours, and we didn't want to let him down. So we're flying Tuesday, direct nonstop to Houston. We're on the ground 16 hours, and then we fly to Vegas to stream Roy's. This Las Vegas Open starts next Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever, and we'll be there doing that streaming. And I guess that's Ray's hometown. You'll be there doing some playing, huh?
No, I'll be sleeping after this 15-hour flight back. Get out of here. Here's what it did. Cost me $1,000 extra to come to this tournament because it would be ridiculous to fly to Vegas and play in the Masters jackpot in the $1,000 32-player level. So I told them I'll enter at $2,000, so I don't have to play the first night. But that's part of my big plan anyway. Not everybody knows that it's easier to get a weak opponent in the second round, or at least as easy as it is in the first one, because all the Steve Saxes and the pros all enter at the lowest amount because they want to, have the least amount of investment and the most profit. And they play, all the bozos enter there too because they don't want to waste a lot of money. And some of the bozos beat some of the Steve Saxes, and then you
pick them up in the second round.
Yeah. And sometimes the tournament is sparsely attended and they don't have enough players in the second round, so there's 2 or 3 buys. And yet you have a chance at those. You might lose in the first round and not get a chance. So there's a method to my madness.
Yeah, so it's interesting. It's it's been a great year for backgammon. Some great tournaments out there. There's we're of course more familiar with the U.S. scene, I guess, and there's something like 20 tournaments on the ABT tour, but a lot of international tournaments going on. Some established, some new. It's an exciting time for backgammon right now, in my estimation.
I just had some fun. We were at the Minnesota tournament, and John O'Hagan owned that. He won he beat me in the finals of the Longship Masters, which had that was a high roller event. And then he came through the losers bracket and beat Kip Woolsey in the finals of the ABT event. And only left me with 2 side events to win, so I don't know.
Well, I was looking at that, I guess, between O'Hagan, Kit, and y'all left nothing but bones for the rest of the
the
rest of the crowd. What else? So anyway, was it Avi Cole?
Get him out of here. Is there any other guys here named Avi?
There he is. Did you win your first round match, Avi?
Of course.
Of course. Easy. Okay. Well, Avi is coming off. You won sunny Florida a couple of 3 weeks ago, whenever it was.
Yep.
So
You
you're
know why
on a
you
bit
won
of a hot streak
Florida?
because you weren't there.
Yeah.
I figured that might be.
Yeah, where's Ray?
So Avi on a bit of a hot streak, and
Thank you. Congrats on your
thought he might bring that right on. So anyway, that's you know, and it's funny, and I was teasing some people that, you know, Tar and I were in our thoroughness of preparation.
I'm sure
We were living in Houston where it was over 100 degrees every day in August, except for 1 or 2, I think.
So you said,
And,
let's take a week off and go someplace hotter.
You know, so we can go somewhere else and we'll be acclimated, right? We're used to hot weather. Well, look, let me tell you, friends, there's hot weather and then there's hot weather. But I'll assure you another thing. I mean, of course, during the day here, maybe it's 110 degrees and the humidity is about 110%. But there's nothing wrong with the air conditioning systems in this hotel.
No.
And if you know anything about air conditioning, you know, one of the big measures is ambient temperature versus the normal temperature you might want to take in the house. And in the States, in a lot of cities, the air conditioning systems are designed for a 20 or 30 degree difference in ambient temperature versus what you want to get it. Well, here they got to design them for a 40 or 50 degree difference in ambient temperature.
I actually turned the heat up in my room. I mean, you know, they had it down to 22 centigrade, which I forget. When I was a fireman, I knew how to figure that
22
stuff
is
out.
72 degrees.
Oh, okay. Well,
You multiply
ballpark.
You multiply by 2, take off 10% and add 32. It's just it's a
Well,
quick
there's something about
calculation.
adding 32 and multiplying by 5/9 too. I don't know. That was the fire department for me. That's why there's so many big fires.
Well, they just didn't know the
Firemen can't
simple
do
way
the
to do
math.
it, you know?
Yeah, well, you oil dudes know that kind of stuff.
So,
I used to work in the oil fields, you know that?
yeah.
But I never had a patent on how to. What do you?
You know, I could stand up and model this shirt. These are
I think
staff
they'd
shirts.
rather I
They're-
stood up and
they're-
modeled my shirt.
Yeah, well, what is that thing?
That's the El Dorado Casino.
El Dorado Casino. But these staff polo shirts they handed out or whatever are just really neat designs, and it's funny. I've had any number of people come up to me and, hey, can I get one of those shirts? And I told Patrick, you missed a great marketing opportunity by not.
Oh, he's not selling them.
He's not selling them. They're just for the staff. And I said, man, you should have, you know, loaded up on those shirts. You could have sold them for some obscene price here and done quite well.
Well, I got 8 minutes till round two. So
Yeah, it's interesting for all of y'all listening to this FTBG system, which is the tournament management system, if they will, is really neat. Did you ever get your app working?
yeah, I went up to my room and I downloaded the app and then I did it and then I came down and they said you could go to your table and I wasn't finding it, but what I had to do was punch my name, just tap on my name in the app and then my match and table number came up.
Yeah.
So
So,
it's pretty neat.
you know, it's all automated. You know, they automatically send out text to all the players that tells them their next match, the time, the table, who your opponent
Oh,
is.
I can look and see who my next match is now. Let's see.
No, when
Oh,
they do it, you'll get a text that shows it. And of course, like when you win a match, and Ray won a match, his name tag here has a QR code on it. So
Don't show that, Bill. All those women will be trying to get it.
they'll be scanning your code.
Yeah, don't give them my code.
So they scan your code, so that automatically enters it into the system. You know that you won, and automatically updates everything. So it's really a pretty neat system. And they have, you know, when you win, you know, you stand up, raise your hand, and you know, they have people patrolling out in the playing area there, and they come by and scan your code, and
They
boom.
ask you the score of your
They
match.
ask the score, they punch in the score, and then guys, it's slick. It's
Yeah,
really
it's
slick.
pretty neat.
Most impressive.
Anyway, I think, take a little break before I go back and play. I'll talk to you
Okay.
later, Bill.
Good luck, Ray, in your next match.
Thank you.
Ray Fogerlin, there's probably, I don't know, 10 or 12 people here from the States. A lot of Turkish players, a lot of Iranian players, quite a few British players, a number of German players, and then a scattering from everywhere. There's a couple of Danish players, a number of Russian players, and again, for various reasons, perhaps they've not been as prevalent on the international scene as they've been in recent years. So, so it's nice to see some of those again. Sergei Rorokin is here, Myco Vardanyan's here, and I know them both fairly well. And, with political situations and, COVID and all this kind of stuff, I hadn't seen them in quite a good while, and it's fun to see them. And Ian says there's 9 on FTBG. That's 9, I presume, in the championship division. I'm not sure if any are in the intermediate division or not. And 9 Americans. 9 out of, I think there were 169. So it's interesting. It's really a neat place. Oh, if Emerkan is addressing that to me, yes. Tara and I both play backgammon, and we're not elite players, but we're competitive championship division players from a U.S. Designation, I guess you would say. But we've gotten. I guess so well known and so proficient at doing streaming and commentary that we do a lot more of that than we do play any longer. And we about the only tournament we get to play in each year is the New York Metro. We go up there, we just play, and that's about a month before our tournament in Texas, so it's kind of a fertile promotion ground as well. But I mentioned Texas. We, of course, do run the Texas Backgammon Championships in San Antonio annually on Super Bowl week. And, yeah, we've added some we had such a significant growth last year in the Texas tournament. Big crowd. It was the largest tournament in the United States this year based on the number of championship level players. We had expanded the space quite a bit last year. Now we found ourselves perhaps a bit shorthanded staff wise last year. So now, in addition to Tara and myself, Jesper Carlson, Jeff Proctor, Nick Blazer as commentary, we've added a couple of new staff members who are going to be great additions. One of them will be kind of Jesper's assistant, young man by the name of Jason Grandstedt, and you might recognize that name. And yes, he's Jorgen and Liz Grandstedt's son. Jason Grandstedt will be on the staff. And then from Israel, person that we've become familiar with at the World Championship, truly incredible live transcriber, Aviv Ziva from Israel will be in San Antonio providing transcription and other services. So we're super grateful for the support we've had over the years in our tournament and what we've developed in San Antonio. So anyway, and then what do we have? I don't have the calendars in front of me right now, but there's a number of nice tournaments coming up, and I'm not nearly as familiar with the international and European calendar as I might be, but I know that we have the two big tournaments in Cyprus coming up. Come over here and sit down just a second. Here's another good friend. I guess American Israeli. Are you a dual citizen or what's your status?
Yeah,
I don't know. Dual citizen.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
Shai Ashraf. And how'd you do first round?
So far, so good. It was difficult, 8-8, but I managed to do 9-8, and I won the first one.
Well, that's great. Well, it's good
Yeah,
to
that's
good to
good.
see you again.
Thank you. You
I
too.
know for the last
It's a great.
couple 3 years you've primarily been living in Israel, so we haven't seen you that much in the U.S.
No, actually, since November, last November.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've been in Israel since last November,
yeah.
and next month going back.
Going back to the States?
Yes,
back
sir.
to Vegas? Or
Yeah, no, actually going back to Miami.
to Miami. Okay. Okay, so that's great. So this is a good new event, I think, you know.
It's a great event.
And
great-
Patrick is he's putting so much
The
into this
atmosphere.
tournament. Huh?
First, the atmosphere.
The atmosphere, yeah.
It's amazing.
He's energetic. He's enthusiastic.
Absolutely.
He's
All the
sunk his heart and soul into this tournament.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And it's really
He needs to get a lot of compliments.
yeah.
Absolutely, he deserves it.
Check your name
And
before we start round two.
Whoever missed this tournament should come next year
Yeah.
because it's a great atmosphere. And
We will start
also the games, of
round
course.
two in 3
pretty fun.
Okay.
Great location, great venue,
Yeah, and
amazing. Bottom line, amazing.
amazing place. to
Don't
visit.
miss it next year. Come over, enjoy. We love the game. Right, Mr. Riles?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, let me look here real quick.
Yep.
It's
The
we
next
got a
match.
number of matches. Tara and I need to decide who we're going to stream, so we're looking through here.
Wish me luck, please, Mr.
Okay,
Thank you
Shy.
very much.
I don't know who this is that you play,
Ooh,
so that might be a good thing. I don't know the name.
let me see. But
Who else? Yeah, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is.
what table am I playing?
I don't know.
That'll be
I
nice.
went on by it.
My internet doesn't work.
Who-
Oh my gosh.
Well, I haven't seen any good pairings.
By the
that
way,
I-
before I'll go to my match, this opportunity, thank you and Tara for doing an amazing
Well,
job
thank you.
every tournament.
Thank you so
It's
much.
fun to watch it. The commentary from you, from Simburg, it's just amazing.
Well, thank you very much, and
I'm
good
gonna
luck.
go to my match.
Good luck in your match.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Why don't we go Sergey and Raj? That's good.
And then why don't we just get emojis? Dom, can you let's go?
Table one is not streaming, is it?
Okay, so Saturday,
Sergey and Jeff Hall or Sergey Orokin and who was he playing? Raj. Sergey Orokin and Raj. And let me look at the rest of this. Sergey Orokin and Raj and tell you what, let me step away 1 second and figure out who we're going to show on the second stream, and I'll be right back. So don't leave. Match is starting very shortly.
All players kindly take your seats. All players from both categories, master and intermediate. You are requested to take your seat. We are about to start.
Next one, please. Five. Next one. I don't know. Please. You want me to start here? They will see us now. You want me to start here? No?
All players from all categories can start their match now. Intermediate and master, you can go ahead. Good luck. And those players who doesn't have an opponent, please wait.
This is Stream 6. And we're waiting on Raj
All players, you can start. Round 2 started. Players who don't have any opponent, please wait for us.
Hey Justin. Yes. I don't know if I could do it on my email. I'm doing a what kind of open, winter open, and we're going to have some charrettes going on as well.
Okay.
So you won't get in the tournament now because it's limited to 32.
Okay.
But if you want to come along on Friday night and we'll do the charrette.
I think I did get this email, but I forgot to respond. Yeah. That's the way England is. If you don't jump on that thing, tournaments get sold out. Who are you playing? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Tara will tell you where you're at.
Yeah, how are you?
I am from Backgammon. From Romania, I guess.
Okay, Bill is back. Kind of difficult a little bit to arranged streamed matches with this Swiss format because the
These are, do you guys sell these ones? From
You
your
know,
shop, Tara, these heavy ones?
we don't know the pairings until the instant the pairings are drawn, so we have to
No, none of these
quickly
ones, but you sell the
try
ones
to
you turn
review
into at your shop?
the available pairings and catch the players before they start their matches. And then Tara, of course, has to get the graphics corrected and place the players and all those sorts of things. So it gets kind of hectic. And the system's great, and the FTBG system is great in many regards. From a streamer and commentator's perspective, it's, it could be a little bit better, but that would compromise the system. So anyway, we've got two good matches here.
So, not too fast.
What we're trying to do, and one of the shortcomings is that I'm not immediately,
Transcribe.
how shall we say,
Okay.
aware of what they did in the previous round necessarily. It's not on the pairings at times, or the pairings that are available to me at least. But anyway, we're trying to get a good representation of good players so you can see some good quality matches, and also representation from various countries, just to give people the exposure that they might have. So the the pairing, and I think they actually might have both lost in the first round, but a superb pairing here in the second round that we're putting on stream one here is Sergei Arokin of Russia and Raj Jansari from the UK. And, two superb players have been around a long time. Now, on stream two on the Ace Point YouTube channel, we have, who do we have? Oh, Sergei Malis from Romania and Jeff Hall from the UK. So Raj and Sergei Arokin here. Arokin is on the right of your player cam screen, playing black checkers at the top. Raj Jansari from the UK on the left of your screen, playing the red checkers on the bottom. So off and running we are. This is the second and final round of this evening, and we begin again tomorrow at and I've been corrected, and I think I have it right now. There's a Michi lecture at noon tomorrow, and the third round begins at 1 p.m. local, and local is Gulf Standard Time, which is 8 hours ahead of U.S. Eastern. So anyway, and we, as we said earlier, we have the live XG feed for y'all's entertainment and review as the match progresses. Justin Knoll is our live transcriber here. Superb player. Great teacher, good commentator, great transcriber, just a real jack of all trades. So we'd like to thank Justin for that. We thank Backgammon Galaxy, that's your use of their YouTube channel and their 20,000 or whatever it is subscribers. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Personally, I know they're both great players. I haven't seen Sergei in a number of years with the pandemics and some of the political BS going on around the world. But nice to see him again and see him in action. And, of course, Raj is a very strong player from the UK. So this should be an entertaining and fun match for all. Okay, these in the Swiss formats, 9-point matches. So, comparatively short match as opposed to the 15s or 17s or that you might find in some of the larger international tournaments. So, 9-pointers are a little bit more volatile at times. You drop 4 early, or get Gammon on a 4 cube or something like that, and the match can end quite quickly. So yeah, unfortunately, Hussein, it's probably accurate though. So be it. We backgammon players are backgammon players, and we all love the game, and hopefully we all have that opportunity to play the game. Okay, so Sergey playing the black, dances to a 2-point board now. Raj with 31 pip lead, a lot going for him, 1 in the air. I suspect it's actually too good according to XG. I was going to say, I was looking at sending the cube, but Raj is evaluating this, and it's actually a fairly significant too good. 6-1 makes the 4 and picks up a second checker in the air. So this could get ugly early. Now, fortunately, from Sergey's perspective, the cube is still in the middle. Now it is a double, and Raj is taking the opportunity to review the position with each roll and the changes associated with it. So, here with some losers such as a deuce for Sergey making the 3-pointer, double, or several bad rolls for Raj. He lets the Sergey lets it go. 1-0 Raj. Fortunately, round 3 tomorrow at 1, so we'll have not that I'll know the pairings, but I'll know a little bit, have a little bit more familiarity with those who are doing well in the tournament, in the sense of maybe having 2-0 records come 1 o'clock tomorrow, and those who do not. So we'll try to find a couple of competitive and significant pairings. Nice to see Julie in on both matches here, and contributing in the chat line and helping keep people informed as to how they can find the brackets and the pairings and so forth and so on. So we appreciate Julie being here, and as everyone knows, the way that I like to do commentary, it's kind of in an interactive fashion. So I'm, in addition to watching the match and offering some comment and opinion on occasion, I also monitor the chat line. So if you have comments, questions, suggestions, critiques, or just want to hear your name on the air, let me know, and we'll try to respond as appropriately and when we can. Mark Olson. Damn, I wish I could be there. Damn, we wish you were here too. Great venue, great, in a sense, new tournament, and really great. And again, Mark, we appreciate the use of the Backgammon Galaxy YouTube channel for these Stream 1 presentations. Okay. Kind of a interesting position here, brother. Sergey's going to try to restrain Raj from escaping the second checker. Raj rolls a 2-4, so Sergey was successful in that effort. Now, what 4 does he play? He can go to the 3, which Raj chooses to do, which was accurate according to XG. Okay, and Now, both of these guys, and I know them by experience, and it's a no double take, fairly close though. May well on a higher ply show to be a double. It obviously was an easy take, but I had no problem with the cube. And I was going to comment, both these guys being rather deliberate to point. And one thing, what is this? It's 9 points in 14 minutes. Yeah, that's it. And I knew this. I just neglected it. I was thinking, I was glancing at those clocks, and I'm thinking, man, the normal settings in tournaments typically are 2 points or 2 minutes per point and a 12-second delay. Here it's actually roughly a minute and a half per point. So they started with 14 minutes. So I'm sitting here looking at, they were both down to 12 minutes. I'm like, Jesus, I didn't realize they'd use that much time. But that's what it is. They're playing with 9-point matches with 12-second delay and 14 points initial reserve. And I think part of that is to kind of with the number of matches that is often required with a somewhat large Swiss field, having a minute and a half per point reduces the match length somewhat without particularly compromising the play, I don't think. All of particularly the more accomplished and elite and experienced players are, very familiar with playing with the clock. And that minor variation, in my opinion, is not going to significantly affect them. So here we go again. It's 4-3 for Sergey. Now he would like to, he's trying to balance out does he what's he play with the 4-3? He's going to leave some contact back here on the midpoint, and just went ahead and cleared the 8. Raj playing with the cube. Not exactly the role he had in mind. Now he could make the 4, which he probably will, or he could reduce the number of shots on the trailer by stepping up closer to the mid. So he's probably going to split the baby in certain regards, to use an old adage, I guess. So he does make the 5. And did I miss one, or was that an illegal play? Huh? Yeah, I assume it was legal. I must have just overlooked something there, because Justin, as a transcriber, would have pointed it out to them were it not. Okay, so this time Sergey is going to have to go ahead and clear the mid. Raj now has a 4-point board as opposed to the 3-point board he had on the prior roll. No redouble take. Yeah, Sergey's got, a 4.5-point board with 4 builders over there, and Raj has got a trailer to clear, so it probably would be a center cube, but it's not going to be a recube at this point. 6-4 takes it around. Nice roll. So it's probably, what's he roll? 4-2. Slot the ace, make the point. Now he may, what's he, 16 up? There's the recube. And he's probably going to have to let this go. Yes. So nice play by both to point. You'll notice, and the XG analysis will pop back up here in a minute, the summary. But I think Sergey, prior to this play at least, was playing 0.98, and Raj was at like 2.2 or something. So it was just absolutely superb exhibition of backgammon here. Oh, what happened to the summary doesn't come up? What? Okay, here we go. 228 and 093. So, man, this is some. Okay, so Raj with a 3-0, 608, 908 lead. Sergey's having the opportunity to really, be fairly aggressive with his rolls and with this score. So now has many opportunities to make the bar or the 5. Now he's going to make the bar because of the, the blot on it. Worry not. If he didn't have that potential, he'd much better, perhaps distributionally and he's going to put 2 up, which actually it's kind of interesting. You could have made the bar, you could have made the 5, you could put 2 up. Not a huge error, but a bit of an error there. Okay, now Raj needs to make that anchor or make a point, or there's the anchor. So might put off the cube for roll. Had he not gotten that, Sergey might have pushed the issue. Here he's going to make the 4, and then question of what's his other 2s to make that. You step up to the 5. Good safety that one, and just step up to the opponent's 5. His 20 and 22. 4-1. So he's gonna. Now this is kind of an interesting position. No double take, but again, and that of course reflects the score, but. Sergey may be tempted to push the issue trailing 3-0, but he lets it go as far as not cubing. Does pick up that blot. So let's see what happens. And I'm reticent in having say so myself, but to quote Mark Olson, smash that like button. That was back on the double ones, Larry. That's what I thought, but they didn't catch it, and Justin apparently didn't catch it. Larry thinks the same thing I did, and maybe he went back and reviewed it. There's Joe Bernaba in the house. Sorry not to see you here. I was surprised to see your dad show up this afternoon. I didn't know he was going to be here. Tony Bernaba is here. Joe's in the chat line here. Okay, 3-2. Now this is I'm surprised, and Sergey's going to think about this. He's trailing 3-0. He's 17 pips up. He's got some potential of making the bar. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a double. XG says no redouble, but very thin. But Sergey correctly analyzes the position, and here we go. There's Tim Parfit, also known as Tim Suki, is in the house. So hello, Tim. Good to see you. Now, if y'all missed the lead in here over on Stream 2, which is on the Ace Point YouTube channel, we have who is it? Sergio Malis from Romania is playing Jeff Hall from the UK. So fine match over on that channel as well. Okay, there's a set of 3s, which makes that a 5 prime in front of the 3 back. What can Raj do in reply? Now here, if Sergey can roll a 4 or a 6 and get one of those checkers moving, but he can't, but he does roll a 3-2, which he can play just shuffling his spares here on the 5 prime. So let's see what Raj needs. A 6, doesn't get it, so he can play down to there. Now it's got to be getting close to Perhaps a double. No double. It's still .07, bigger than I might have imagined. 3-1. He's still going to have to play effectively inside. Raj still looking for that 6. Well, got more than that 6. He got those 6s. And so now he can't bring either of them on. Well, he could bring one and give him a 7 shot, but he may just slot the deuce here. Let's see what he's doing. He's going to give him the 7 shot, which gives him 7 and 10. So that's what, like 7 numbers, I think. But look at these PRs these guys are floating up. What a match we're being treated to. And that was, typically stream 1 is going to be our, I don't know what you want to call it, headline match of the 2 streams. And I saw this pairing. I didn't realize that perhaps they'd both lost in the first round. I think that was the case. I know Sergey lost in the first round. But I thought, what a pairing and an opportunity to put a couple of people on the stream that we haven't seen on the stream much lately. Can anyone remind me of the dates of the next UBC? Now, Mark Olson is in the house. He can respond to that. The next actual, I guess, official Backgammon Galaxy UBC event is the 2023 final, which would pit Mochi, who is the UBC contender tournament winner, against Sander, who beat Mochi in the UBC final last year. So that's normally played in late year, November, December. Again, perhaps Mark can shed some light on that. I've not heard a specific date. And then next year, I think the UBC contender tournament's going to be in Marbella, Spain. Again, not completely certain of the date, but I've heard that is the location. And of course, we have, an officially sanctioned USA UBC tournament in San Antonio, Super Bowl week. So that's always a lot of fun. People enjoy playing in these a couple of different formats that are out there right now that include PR and allows them to evaluate their game and their progress and their performances in that regard. You see a lot of BMAB tournaments. And some UBC tournaments, and people like those opportunities to evaluate their play. So always an interesting side event, main event, whatever may be the case at various tournaments. Okay, so here we are. Sergey's still treading water, never been able to do anything as far as extricating those rear checkers. There you go. Mark, UBC contender next year. It's the middle of August in Marbella. And then Mark has, by chance, this year's final been specifically scheduled yet between Mochi and Sander, I guess it is. Okay, so Sergey is trying to decide what he's going to do here. Does he break his closed board over there, or does he run with a checker? Now, sooner or later, obviously, he's going to have to, by choice or by requirement, he's going to have to leave with one of those checkers. Does he pay now? Or does he hang around and try to pay later? He's going to pay now to some degree. He doesn't come out and offer the 6 shot. He only dupes the aces in a sense. Double and take. Raj plays on. It was a thin double. huge take. So there it is. Mark's providing us plenty of information here. Sander Mochi playing in Copenhagen in December 15 to 22. So we'll be looking forward to those dates, and that's always some exciting viewing, and the way it's executed, and then post production providing us a match a day and so forth is really been a novel format and presentation by Mark Olson and the Galaxy team, and we've all, over the 3 or 4 years that it's been going now, we've become quite accustomed to staying tuned and watching some of the absolute very best backgammon. Okay, now Sergey needs to perform right here, or he's in some serious jeopardy, and he does perform, hits with a 4, has the opportunity to pick up a second checker. Not a whole lot of opportunity of not being able to extricate his own back checker. So gammons are certainly in play here, and so could turn a 3-0 Chansari lead to a 4-3 Orokin lead here. 6-3, he's out and running. So now he just wants to be, and he can't save 6s here, but he wants to be as careful as he can to bring them around and start bearing them off in a most efficient fashion. Nichols, he worked out fine, worked out perfectly, in fact. So 3-1, still perfectly, as 2 off. Gonna clear the 6. Dance by Raj. So Sergey continues on 5-1, and not his favorite number. He leaves him out on the back, so there's a potential of leaving a shot here with a 6x, 4x, 5x, where the X's are like 1s, 2s, and 3s. So, but he gets a roll that he can easily sustain, and now Raji's going to get G'd. His only potential downfall here is the BG if he were to not to enter for a couple of rolls. And dancing on he is. 4-1, so now Sergey could be off in 2 rolls. And what is it? 4 deuce, he gets him out, so it's just a G. So now, and look at these PR folks. Raj is at 190 and Sergey is at 0.62. This is some of the, and we're what? That was not the G. It's never sent. He was too good too early. I apologize. I was thinking it was a G. But they, so we're what? 3 games into the match here, and combined PR of 2.5. So it's about as good as it gets. So let's see. If these guys keep playing like this, and they're both, well-known, very accomplished players, I was going to tease that they keep playing like this, they need to buy themselves tickets to Marbella next summer. They could make some impact in the contender tournament. And I don't think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think either has played in an earlier contender tournament. Mark could confirm that, but I don't think either one of them has played in a contender tournament before. Okay, Raj is contemplating this. This is it a take? It is a take, and I'm not surprised by that. And it's a small take, 0-1-1. But Sergey only has 8 in the zone, so Raj has got probably at least 2 rolls to enter and or anchor. So this is one of those kind of a siren's cube. It's the pretty girl on the desert isle out in the middle of the ocean, and it sure does seem attractive, but maybe y'all not stop. And Raj lets it go. 3 all, so 6 away. Nice 6-5 by Raj. Now that was, and now that I look, it was a very small take. So Raj took a small hit to his PR there. Again, Aroken at 0.65. Wow. Raj is, and of course they're not aware of what the PRs are, but they both know they're playing a very accomplished opponent, and Raj is worried. The PRs a little. Oftentimes he's playing 2.0 and just getting crushed on the PR battle and in a real dogfight in the score battle. So quite the treat here. Okay, 5-1. Okay, had to leave the shot somewhere, so he's going to follow the old adage of, put it where you want it if in case you get missed, and he gets missed. So now he's a big favorite to make that 5-point on the next roll. Sergey breaks up to put some pressure on him making that 5-point on the blot that had been slotted on the 5-point. Ian Terry, are you? Yeah, Raj is slumming it. Actually, I think he might have just slipped a bit under 2, didn't he? He'd been under 2, he went slightly over, and now he's back under, I think, 189, and Sergey is just lighting it up over here at 0.61. Sometimes we get lucky in the selection of matches for the stream. Sometimes you can get a real great pairing that turns out with a loser match of sorts, with huge differential in PR, albeit between good components, or, a grossly unbalanced luck factor or what have you, and you end up with kind of a 0 match. And sometimes you get lucky and you have the stellar match that we've seen to date in this instance. Okay, so again, I think we're up to 230 viewers here. I think I saw something like 86 likes, so we need to do better than that. So in your spare time, while you're enjoying this free stream on a free YouTube channel, help everyone out by hitting those like buttons and improving their search algorithms and what have you on Google. So it's doesn't cost you anything, and by having more subscribers, more views, more likes, what have you, it helps out some of these considerations. So the pip count's close enough. Sergey is, we're looking at just almost like a standoff game, mutual standoff game, with Sergey on his 13 and 18 and Raj on his 8 and 13. So Raj has a wee bit of a pip count advantage at this point. Okay. Okay, so, and it's amazing. I've been kind of following it here, and you can see it in the PR, but, sitting here looking at the transcription feed, Sergey can spend some time at times on some of these more difficult decisions, but on almost every instance, he's found the right play, and kudos to him. Okay, so that's going to, what's he going to be? 17 up, so unless 23 up, unless Raj gets some pips here, he's probably dropping this. There it is. There goes. 4-3 Sergey. Again, 2.47 combined PR. 2.47 combined PR. Think about that. Most of us would be more than happy to once every year to play a 2.47, and these guys are playing combined 2.47. Okay, a nice fly hitting shot there. Not exactly what Sergey had in mind. Doesn't do much of anything. You're going to have to leave him split. Not much for Raj to do there either. I might go to the mid and just try to take advantage of a 14 pip lead. In safety. Well, I said 14, go to the 13, but XG likes 13, 11, 8, 7. ZZ, did you win your second match? Are you 2-0? You lost the third. Wow. Okay, be good. Zdenek is now 1-1. He's just walking by. He lost his first match, won his second match. So again, what do you do with this? Now again, I'm going to play with some of our tools here. Bill likes this play. XG. What if I change colors here? XG. I didn't change colors. But XG likes 13, 11, and then hit the 7 here. So for better or worse, Raj goes with Bill and runs his PR up a little bit too. I would have invited ZZ, but I think he said good night. I think he's going to bed or going to relax somewhere. 10:48 here. So yeah, been interesting, and Raj just made a bad play or two, but through about 4 or 5 games here, their combined PR is like 2.5. Oh yeah. So I don't know. Sergey's starting to slip. He's up to 0.77 here. What's he doing? Oh, there. I didn't even realize it's on there. What is that, 5-1? Okay, just glancing over at stream 2, Jeff Hall leads Sergio. How did you pronounce that? Sergio Malis from Romania. Great, nice. Both of those great, nice people. Jeff Hall and Sergio Malis from Romania. 5-1 Jeff at the moment. And here on stream 1, quite the battle. 6-5. You know, and it's, again, I'm just amazed. I mean, Raj is playing a great match and so forth, playing, what's he at, 2-3 or something like that, 2-1-6 now. And, you know, and Sergey is ballooned all the way up to 131 or something. I mean, you play 2.5 and you get creamed in the PR battle. So it's such as modern backgammon. Okay, there's pointing, making another point, hitting and pointing and making another point, stepping up. Raj might have a little gift in his future here. There it is. Says no, thank you. Yeah, Ian says they're amateurs. That's right. These are just a couple of everyday slackers here. Down your normal neighborhood bar chouette. Yeah, I think. What the hell is that? Okay. I guess Barack Osman written checkers are too bad. I guess he's talking about logos on the checkers and not liking those. You know, to each his own. You know, it does make sure that viewers don't lose a checker. You're not going to overlook a black checker anywhere. And to a lesser extent, the red ones have the Skillz logo on them as well. Okay, so what are we going to do here? We're going to make the 11 point or make the 4 point. I would have made the 4, but glancing over to XG, they want you to make the 11. And let's see what he does. Okay, that's more what I would have been tempted to do, but it's a small error, 027. Who's on comms? I guess you mean commentator? That would be me, Bill Riles. Ari Noguera is not in attendance. And right now, we don't have a commentator on stream 2 because, you know, in the early rounds of a Swiss format, everyone is playing. So, but as we progress through the day tomorrow, more and more people will, shall we say, flush out at some point, and hopefully we'll have some commentary on stream 2 and some guests for the hosts on both stream 1 and stream 2, which is always an opportunity not only to, you know, gain some insight and perspective from some of these elite players, but also to kind of come to know them from a personality perspective by actually hearing them talk and laugh and think and what have you. So lots of fun. Okay, Raj needing to enter he does. It's really his only reasonable 6. Oh, 6-5. Well, that's kind of interesting. I think that's the 6, and then if that's a 6, you play to the ace, right? And he does. Okay, so here we go. Sergey got a lead, a 5-3 lead, and a 18 pip lead, now 21 pips. So 4-1. This worked out. As you can see, we're playing in a private room. You can see on the player cam there, it's fairly well lit. So we've got some, you know, good perspective on the board. we're using the Tara and Bill's magic dice of sorts, so not experiencing any glare, which makes it great for the viewers and transcribers and what have you. Yeah, Tara's sitting here next to me, and she said I might explain what's going on in the background there on the other side of the private room. That's a table that's set up for a number of these videographers and what have you from this local streaming and what have you firm. So they're shooting a lot of video, a lot of still shots and what have you here at the venue. And those are being, I guess, processed and posted right on those desktop computers on the other. Myco is the name of the company. Yeah, it's pays you to watch content. My content. Myco tells me the name means my content. So you might go, is it myco.com or what is that? Do you know? Myco, M-Y-K-O .io. M-Y-C-O, Myco, M-Y-C-O .io. So, great sponsorship here, doing a lot of good work. Yeah, they have, in addition to a couple of, I don't know, supervisors or whatever, they got a staff of like 12 or 13 cameramen, videographers, interviewers, various crafts and trades within the videography and photography business. So it's quite, as I guess it was Shy talking about earlier, Shy Ashraf, when he joined me for a bit between the matches. He was talking about, he really loved the vibe here and the atmosphere, the energy, what have you. There's a lot going on, and yeah, we've been meeting with Myco for months and planning out this tournament and what was going to be done and how it was going to be done and this, that, and the other. So here comes Raj is doubled that, and Sergey correctly lets it go. But Myco is there's a streaming platform also, and they're huge into live sports such as cricket, such as soccer, what we in America call soccer. Looks like Raj is going to take a little break there. But anyway, they this way. Going to the men facility this way. So anyway, yeah, they've they do all this live streaming, and I mean huge live streams, both in numbers of viewers and number of live streams. But in cricket and soccer and all these kinds, so they're big into live sports of that nature. But they've never had any affiliation or experience with backgammon. So it's kind of interesting, and it's funny because Tara and I look upon them. I mean, they've got some equipment here like you wouldn't believe. Photography equipment and video equipment. They have got some, no telling how much money in some of this equipment that they have. And, and we regard them as the professionals because of all the equipment they have, the experience they have, the streaming, live streaming of these big sporting events and things of that nature. And we say, we're amateurs, y'all are the professionals, and they laugh and they say, no, y'all are the backgammon professionals. We're looking to y'all to help us out here. So it works out great. And we put Tar switch to the 2-up on the stream here, so we can see that Jeff Hall is leading 6-1 and perhaps soon to be leading 8-1. So he's got Sergio Malise where he wants him. I've not talked to answer y'all's questions, Ed Sawyer and Tim Sullivan and others. This is only our second round, so 4 stream matches, but I haven't had the opportunity or made the opportunity to ask any of the players what they might think of the board, the setup, the checkers, what have you. So don't have any feedback on that just yet. Okay. Well, this is interesting. I think, wow, I might have been tempted to slide on it. You don't want to let him anchor. He doesn't, so now you're favored to point on him. But favorites don't always come through. Mighty, yeah, he's going to play it. If he didn't slide on him earlier, I couldn't imagine he was going to slide on him here. Set of 3s. So this is going downhill fast. A set of 3s in the other direction. So he's going to move 3 of them to the 2-point and then a 6-3 after that. Okay. Jeff's playing with the idea. Now, it's interesting. Obviously, he'd like to get a gammon here, but then it's not an obvious answer as to which the best way to get the gammon. Do you put 2 up as he's contemplating doing here, or do you could have taken 3 off in various perspectives. So, it's which case is more appropriate to bring home that gammon that he so much would like. Okay, Raj is heading back into the playing room, so I suspect they're about to rejoin the battle.
Their matches, kindly you respect a little bit the other players playing still.
Okay, so what have we got? Okay, so the battle is back on. 4-away, 5-away, Sergey, 2.4 to 2.25. Close score, close PRs. Couldn't find a more competitive nor well-played match. Okay. Sorry, brief distraction there. I don't know, Florin. I'll take exception to some of that. One, I don't think room rates are that terribly expensive by any measure. It's a beautiful playing room. A lot of expenses are incurred to, provide a tournament of this nature. So I don't, fault fees whatsoever, and it includes snacks and drinks and this, that, and the other. And then, of course, everyone is also within the all participants are, there's the desert experience, which apparently is quite interesting and entertaining, that everyone is privileged to attend on Monday afternoon late. So, again, I think Patrick has put a tremendous amount of time, money, and effort into this, and then you have various sponsors that are putting up money. You got you maybe from one perspective you lose a little bit of equity by having to pay $220, call it what we may, hospitality fee or something of that nature. But there's also $50,000 added money. So like if you're in the championship division, $35,000 of that $50,000 added money is going into the championship division, just building up the side pool. So, again, nobody's getting rich doing tournaments, and okay, so nice safetying 5-2. Yeah, it's 50,000 added, Tim. $50,000, and I don't know if this is public knowledge, but this Patrick Jabelli has grand plans to expand and improve and everything associated with this tournament, and it's looking at least twice as much added money next year. So I'd say pony up and pay the money, show up and enjoy a great experience. Yeah, in fact, there's at this particular location, and I'm not sure. I haven't heard that, if the tournament will be at this specific location again next year, or might be moved elsewhere. I have no idea. No reason to believe one way or the other. But I do know that it's a very nice Hyatt Regency hotel here. It's completely sold out. Not necessarily just with backgammon players. It's quite a busy place. It's completely sold out. But there's a adjoining 30-story tower that is a condo type situation. So there are residences over there that people own, and apparently, and many of those people live elsewhere and spend a certain amount of time in the year here, and many of those rooms are available. They're managed as, or apartments, or whatever we want to call them, condos, are managed on kind of an Airbnb type basis. So you can get a room over there. So anyway, it's and in that case, and I agree with Florin, I always rather stay in a tournament hotel, but in this one, you have the residences in the adjoining building, so maybe you get the best of both worlds. Okay, so Sergey's open for business on the other side. He takes the chance to run with the 6-5. He gets hit. And he still has Raj only has a 3-point board, so it's 75% to come in. And 75% is not 100%. And he dances, and here goes the cube going back the other direction. Wow, this is interesting. A very small, accurate redouble by Raj and a huge take by Sergey. But it's, you got to pull up your pants and buckle up tight because it's kind of scary. Huh? Oh, it's huge pass. Huh? That's a big hit. I'm sorry, but it is a huge pass, and it's you can see there's one, you'd be playing for the match, and gammons wouldn't matter, but it's anyway. Book the regular rate if it is less. People find deals on various sites that are on the cheap all the time. Okay, so Raj has regained the lead at 6-5. So this is that, and Phil and I were talking, and actually, who else was I talking about this? Ray earlier in the day with one of his matches, but this 3-way, 4-way score is quite an interesting score, particularly for the trailer in there. Sergey gets in a relatively early cube and rolls a nice set of threes. One of his best shakes after that. Raj hits with a reply. Sergey can make the 5-point. No, he can hit. I overlooked that. I just immediately assumed without looking that we would be making the 20. There's the anchor. So we might settle in for a bit of a lengthy game here. So what do we do here? He can hit. He can make the ace-point. Bar 20. Oh, he's actually bar 21. He was in the air. So which 3 is it? Now again, these are the sort of cases where okay, he finds the right play. Does he stick with it? And this is the kind of play you have to be willing to, what is it? I always kind of have a saying is you can't be afraid to lose, and you can't be afraid to win. So you have to make the play that's maximizes your potential in any game, and in any game that relates to maximizing your potential in the match. So 3-6. So Raj could be in jeopardy here. I'm going to go to the bar, prepare to make a 5 prime. He's got 2 in the air, so he can't really do too much too. Dances again. Now you want to make the bar and or attack inside. Wow. He's going to attack while the attacking's good. Raj has 2 blots in his home board, worried to get hit. So just kind of keep that blitzing attitude while you have it. Now you could go 4-2-1 might be the play. Put a 3rd one in the air, plus Raj has 2 Third in the air. That's it. So Raj needs to perform. He gets a 3. It gets to at least slot toward making a point, but 3-1. So here we are again. He can do the same thing with the 6. Off the 6, put the third one in the air, and hope to make the 6 in the next roll. That's a dance. So now 1, 7s, and 10s. There's a 7. Make the 6 point. You can make the 3, but I'm making the 6 all day, I think. Yeah. And this could be painful for Raj here if he doesn't get in. I can go to the 4. Yeah, can do that. I don't know. I might have gone to the 4, but had 2 working builders, but he chose not to. Okay, and step up. Now you have 3 working builders on that 3-point. Now it's just attack city. Raj has no defense over here. 4, step up. Okay. Looks like this could well be match right here, but he's not having a lot of luck closing that out. Hey, we streamed Sergio Melise on stream 2 right now. He's down 8-3, but we'll try to get some more in. Oh, a nice set of 6s, man. Those come in handy. So we're going to try to get some of our best matches, best pairings of players with the best records, and try to provide some geographical balance and representation to the stream as well. No. Okay, so now he can't really afford to get another checker hit. He's just got to play this going forward as kind of a gammon save type position. And that might be tough to do. Make the 5-point, cost him 2 pips, but gains a crossover. Okay, now he needs 8s and deuces. That's called a direct miss, so you can do that 6-5. Now, can Sergey clear that checker? He does. So, in all probability, we're looking at a 2-point for Sergey. I'll say at least a 2-point. Okay. Still, Raj is trying to most efficiently bring those checkers around, save the G here. You're always taking, moving efficiently to the 6-point, take crossovers where you can. You want to have as many in your home outfield as possible, as many different points slotted so that you can play as most efficiently as many numbers as you can. There are 169 players in the what's called here the Masters division, which would be analogous to the championship division in the USA. So Going to be close, 6-4. That's a good start as far as saving the G here. Okay, that doublet doesn't hurt him that much. Okay, can he do it? He's vulnerable to those small numbers. I apologize. I've been almost drifting here a little bit. Tar and I finished the the setup at 2 a.m. this morning. Whoa, the perfect number, the perfect minimum number, 2-6. Okay. Okay, so
To all the players.
7-6 Sergey. Raj more or less dodged the bullet on that Gammon, but okay, there's that two-away, three-away early cube that has been discussed several times today. Set of sixes, so Raj is going to have a nice structure, a 13 pip lead, but Sergey has managed to extricate his two back checkers. Now he just has to try to keep one of them from getting hit back again.
Then 12 o'clock we have an interesting seminar, and 1 o'clock we resume our main tournament.
Five, three. So, it's kind of an interesting game in that Raj has kind of accomplished everything that he might want with respect to building a home board. And Sergey has managed to, escape danger to this point. 4-1, but he's just going to have to, again, with a 2 cube in play and Raj at 3 away, he can't get Gammon, so he's going to have to, Sergey's got to play this Gammon save as well. Same boat Raj was in to some degree in the last game. Now he can pick and pass, only safe play, without exposing a checker. 4-1 is a dance. So Sergey, what's he do here? 4-2. 2 down, 1 down, 1 in. Okay, and that's correct. Backs G. 2 down was only a 0-1-5 error. Boy, there he gets hit. But he has 2 blots in his home board, so a lot of returns, 55%. Boom, he gets one of them. Going to play down to the 8. Yep. Okay, so here's Raj. He hits for the second roll in a row, trying to be super aggressive. Okay. Two in the air, you can slot pretty willfully. Okay, makes a 5 point. So 5 point board. Another checker that could go up. Either way, what is that? It looked like almost over.
Got a tough one here.
Bill Simborg joining us again.
Oh, I don't think I should be watching this. Both of these guys have knocked me out in the World Championships in the past, in Monte Carlo. Both of them. Sergi in the money round. The first time I ever went there. He's a really
When
great
both
player.
these guys are playing about 2.5.
Oh, I'm telling you, people don't know Sergi because he doesn't play in that many tournaments, but he's great. And of course, everybody knows Raj is great.
Yeah, I mean, look at that,
This is
258,
exciting.
247.
2 away, 3 away. And it's been doubled. Okay.
Cube in play,
It's been
so
doubled. The cube's out of play. It's dead. Cube is dead. I'd like to put a bet on Sergi right now. I think I like his position. Just,
yeah, he's
just taking a bit. Oh, not anymore. Good play. Just leaves an ace.
yeah, but Raj does have the 2 blocks.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. So he's a favorite
I come down.
to get hit.
Yeah.
But
Oh, it's right to come out. I would have come down for the cover. I would have made this play.
I would have went
Wow.
for the cover as well.
Can't believe it was right to come out. Wow.
Dealer's choice.
I got to really look at that.
one.
There's not much choice of which one you hit there. Wow, I got to look at that come out play later. That's out of my pay scale. Aren't you even going to ask me how I did in my second round?
Oh yeah, Phil, how'd you do in your second round?
I lost. I bet you were thinking I won because I was
Now
bragging.
you beat Jan Jakubowicz, and then you probably turn around and lost to somebody you'd never heard of.
Exactly. But he
Typical,
played.
isn't it?
But he played very well. Oh,
Did he?
the ones I never hear of scared me the most. Absolutely.
Oh, I find them more difficult to play.
No, this guy played good.
This guy played good.
He was
as well.
from Iran, and very nice gentleman. I can't tell you his name because I can't pronounce it, but he played very well.
Well, that's one thing, and I've been kind of excited about. So many Iranian players were going to be here,
Oh.
and none of us get the opportunity much to see them play.
Yeah.
Certainly, to see them play
Here in,
live.
here in Cyprus is about all the times I see him.
Yeah,
And even one of their best players, Amir Shregi, isn't here, and they still have a bunch of great players here. They got a great group there, and they're really lovely, nice people.
Oh, I've met a number here in the last 2-3 days, and every one of them's just the nicest people you'll ever want to
I've
meet.
become very friendly with a lot of Iranians, and being Jewish myself, I thought it was a little strange at first, but they were very, very friendly and kind, even though the countries are not particularly nice to each other. Well, barring a major catastrophe, this match is over. Sergi is so tough from Russia.
There it is.
Very good. Well,
So Sergey puts this one away.
yep.
It was interesting. And I forget who he played. Vardanyan.
What's the final PRs? Let's take a look.
They put him up.
Come on. There it is.
232.
Oh, my goodness.
485 combined.
Oh, my goodness. That is real
That's
backgammon. And this was a long match, too. Look how many games they were played. The
yeah.
score.
They played a lot of games.
Oh, my gosh.
Tough loss. Great
These
play.
guys,
though, man.
this shows you the quality of play that's at this tournament, too.
Yeah. So
I made a list
Super.
earlier of the people that I thought would be dangerous, and these two are both on my list. Both giants, in my opinion. Sergey is not on the giant list because he doesn't play many tournaments, but he belongs there, and I think Raj has been on it a few times.
and with the pandemic and other stuff going on in the world where they're not getting to travel much, it seems as though he's just been sitting home studying.
I don't know. He was playing that well years ago. He's been that good for a long time. But this Raj character, he got so lucky. Raj is standing right here. Have a seat, Raj. Tell us why you lost. Have a seat. Why did you lose?
Well, yeah, that's kind of interesting. Rarely,
A long time ago, I met the great Neil Kazaros, and I said to him, I was beginning, my backgammon journey. I said, what makes such a great player? How do you win like this? He said, it's very simple. He said, you got to hit the shots, you got to roll the big doubles, and when you get an opportunity, don't leave anything that gets hit. And it's simple. It's that simple. I was like, you know what?
well,
Now I get it.
yeah,
Now I
you
get it.
Now you get it. But I mean, you can't feel bad. You played great.
You didn't play good enough. That's the problem.
I can see. I mean, this
Really
is
wasn't
terrible.
much you could do.
I made 6 errors and a double error and a couple of, I made a take error and one blunt. So, yeah, you can't expect to win with terrible play like this. It's only backgammon. I enjoyed it. It's fine.
Okay, well, that's going to be it tonight, folks. 2 rounds under the belt. We have Amici lecture at noon tomorrow. Not sure if that's going to be streamed or not. We're still trying to work out the logistics of that. And the 3rd round begins at 1 p.m. and we play something like 7 rounds tomorrow. So it's going to be a very busy day of backgammon. And wow, let's just get some sleep. I know Tara and I were finishing setup at 2
I'm looking forward to the
a.m.
lectures. Those lectures are going to be incredible.
Yeah, Michi's
Michi, Mochi, and Zedek.
yeah, I mean,
great lecture.
doesn't get any better. And we so Tara and I are going to wrap it up. We're going to try to get to bed here hopefully by noon or not noon, midnight. We were up to 2 a.m. last night finishing the setup, and up at 6:30. So running on empty a little bit, but we appreciate.
Great job. Good night.
Thank you, Phil. We appreciate everyone watching, and we will be back tomorrow. Y'all have a good evening, or in the States, good afternoon and evening. So good night, and talk to y'all later. Let's see what I'm glancing over. It's rallied. It's 8-5. Jeff Hall and Sergey Melise on stream 2. Perhaps Tara can switches over there for a second if she wants. And get a little bit more of our backgammon addiction fix here tonight. There it is. The marvels of our technological age and the way we have this set up. Tara can just, with the push of a button, switch streams and views and what have you. So here we are, Jeff, post Crawford 4-way, and obviously Sergey has cubed this, and he's he's not in a bad position. He's got a 5-point board. He's got some checkers to recirculate to buy himself some time. And let's see what happens. He's got a bunch of checkers to bring home too. Now he and this is where it's interesting. He can hit, but there's some return shots there, and he's got a 5-point board over here, and Gammon's count mightily. And boom, that's a direct miss. So close, but no cigar. Now this is interesting. He's just going to have to pretty it up there, safety those safety those couple of blots. Okay. Fours. Wow. So what's he, very interesting. 6-3, bring it around. Make, go to the 6, I guess. Could, with another couple of good rolls, he could actually get into a racing position. 6-2, that's going to be a little awkward. Has to bury one, has a bit of inflexibility in his position, and Sergey, I don't know how to say Sergiu, Sergiu, is, got a very strong position on his side. Now there's a shot somewhere. Probably going to make the ace and slot the 3s. They'll give him only the ace, but only the ace could hurt. And of course, would also have to have some 6s at some point behind that. 2-3. Yeah. That's not exactly what he had in mind. Good night, Mrs. Bubbles and everyone. So let's see. He's trying to decide he could save a he's gonna save a 6 to try to minimize any crunching he might do on the next roll. 4-1, he can make the deuce. Puts one in the air though, so maybe that buys a bit of timing and time for Melise. Okay, now here's might be an indirect. Oh, not going to be an indirect. That's a very, very nice roll. So now Jeff has a 5-point board and just a few checkers to clear here. So Jeff had a big early lead. Sergio rallied to get it to 8-5, but it looks as though Jeff may put it away. But I don't know. It's he gets a 4-6. There's some odd numbers out there, big doubles. Going to play that on, so he's even on the back 2 points. Now he wants to make the 6 as he does, and then this plays a 2. So certain numbers Jeff doesn't want to see, and that was not the worst of them, but not the best of them certainly either. 6-3 coming on around. Okay, here's the roll of the match probably. 5-2, that's a safety. So it's going to be difficult for Jeff to lose from here. It's been done, but we've all done it. But Brandon Macklin just joined the house. How's it going, Brandon? Wish you were here.
Sit down and say hi.
Ray sits down to
Hey, Brandon.
hassle Brandon a little bit.
Brandon would have trouble playing red.
Okay, so got to wait for that last potential shot here.
Yeah.
Boom, there it is.
Wow. It's
Needing
never easy
an
back
ace. Needing an ace. What do we do?
It's going to be real boring without an ace. What do you think he's thinking about, Bill?
Oh, I don't know. What time to set the clock tomorrow?
It wasn't 4-2. I can guarantee you that. That's the second worst number that he could have rolled.
Okay, so needs to go to the whip hard and soon.
Yeah, and then they
And that's
need some
not it.
help too. All right.
Brandon says to tell you should just enter the jackpot in Vegas in the final.
I don't make as big of a profit when I do that, Brandon.
Okay, well, this looks like curtains for Mr. Malise and a win for Mr. Jeff Hall.
That's good.
Okay, Ricardo, you're just in time to see it in. Okay, folks, so that finishes the second of our two matches tonight. But again, Michi lecture at noon, round 3 at 1. We shall see you then.
All
Good
right.
night. Thanks, Ray.
Sayonara.
See everyone later.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Dave.